Welcome to another episode of Peace Elite.
Hold on.
I can't.
Go ahead, man.
So, episode
I don't know.
207, I believe.
Wow. Sounds good.
Yeah, okay.
Deep in the streets.
Uh-huh. In the basement, we have Darren,
No Bim.
Bim,
Genevieve.
and Genevieve. But we're joined by a good friend.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
Jen, I'll let you take the intro because
I'm bad at intros. So
I know that's why I let you take it.
today we are joined by Bad Lad the comic,
The comic.
and that's as good as I'm gonna get. So welcome.
That's cool. That's cool. Sometimes lessons are better when they're short. So. Yeah, no, peace, yo. Peace.
Thank you for
Thanks
joining
having
us,
me.
brother.
No, thank you for having me.
How's everything going, my friend?
Everything is not bad. Not bad.
Good.
It's talking to my wife, she said we're doing well, so we're doing well.
All right. I'll
As
take
long
it.
as if she's happy, you're happy.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, the locksmith don't know me, and there's a reason for that.
You know, I don't like the phrase "happy wife, happy life." I think it's unfair.
Okay.
Because my happiness matters too. Our happiness as husbands matter.
Yeah.
So we got to come up with a new. I know there's like happy house, happy spouse, happy house.
Okay.
But that's not as fun.
Yeah,
I want something for me.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Happy husband and.
No, nothing rhymes with husband. It's like
No.
orange.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you're Eminem.
Right. Right. So send Marshall an email. Get him on that. Get him on that. Please.
Maybe happy man, happy land. Something.
Huh? Maybe.
That's why I don't have one.
No, because it's
It
not
don't
fun.
flow.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But anyways, Lad is joining us, filling in for Bim, who's on his anniversary with his darling wife.
Ow.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary, Bill.
Indeed.
Word.
So, happy
question.
Thursday.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Happy
Yep,
Thursday.
Absolutely happy Thursday.
So I didn't know Lad was a comedian for a while.
Wait, I didn't ask the first question.
Okay, ask the first question.
Is your name Lad?
No.
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 What is your name, sir?
My actual name is Vincent. I am actually a junior or second. I forget how that goes. I have so my last name is hyphenated.
Okay.
It's Dennis Lopes. My mother was the Dennis. My father was the Lopes.
Okay.
So my name is Vincent Dennis Lopes. So I'm not a junior. I'm a second, I guess. I'm not sure how that
I
works.
think it's a second.
Yeah.
Because I think if you don't have the same middle name,
I don't have the
Also-
same middle name.
but if it's
but,
not
but my last name is different because I have Dennis Lopes and my father's just Vincent Manuel Lopes.
right, I think if it's not exactly the same, you're a second.
Okay.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
I always thought it was if you're named after somebody, and there's no one before you, then you're a junior, and then there's no second.
okay, so there'd have to be a third for me to be a second. Is that what you're saying? That kind of deal?
Like a outline.
Mm.
There's no two.
Mm.
Because my oldest son, he's Vincent as well, but he's not but that's the way it ends. He doesn't have my middle name, or he has his mother's last name.
So do you need the whole first and middle name to be a
A junior, I believe.
really?
I think so. I'm learning all this right now too.
You're probably lying. We don't even know.
I know somebody else said that.
But
No,
it's been said to me before. I just don't remember how it pans out. It's one or the other.
It's kind of like trying to explain second cousins to black people.
Yeah. Exactly.
She's just your cousin.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's your family.
That's your family.
That's right.
Cool.
Yep.
Settle down. Okay, so that
So
was
his name is
question.
Yeah.
Vincent.
So Vincent Ladd was actually. I don't think I've ever been asked this on any podcast I've ever been on. So I am actually sharing with you for the first time. So Ladd
Yes.
is a nickname that my mother gave me. It actually was from what I was told, because my mom passed when I was a kid. So
Oh.
I found this information out later on as an older teen, almost early 20s. Glad was derived from an original baby name that she gave me when I was too young to speak, and I was just cooing, and she was trading cooing noises with me, and ladder bump was one of the cooing noises that fell out of her mouth that she liked. So it was ladder bump, and it went from ladder bump to ladder to lad.
Well, that's cool.
That's dope.
So, and it's funny because there are generations of people that know me, right? You know, people that know you before you knew you,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. So, folks that are like my uncle, my parents' age, they all call me Ladder. And
Okay,
then
okay,
people
okay.
my age all call me Lad. You know what I mean? So, and the only people that called me that chose to call me Vinny or Vincent was my father and his mother. and they are both have passed on. But it drove my father crazy. It drove my father crazy. You're a grown ass man.
And they call you lad.
It's that hood name, man. It's that hood name that stuck. You know what I mean? And then Bad Lad. I got Bad Lad in high school from a friend of mine who actually passed away this past weekend.
Oh no.
Her name was Darshana Gomes. Rest in peace. And I was a class clown, and we used to sit in the back of a Spanish class.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Darshana, and Ed Cooley.
Oh
No way.
Ed Cooley, and me and Ed.
I love
was,
Ed Cooley.
Absolutely. And me and Ed would sit back there, and we would act a fool. And she would always say, "You so bad, lad. You so bad, lad." And then she would just call me bad, lad. Hey, bad lad, and just stuck. And
That's
here we
awesome.
are.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
It's an origin story.
yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. Yep. So
What high school did you go to?
Central High, Fricker Street Mob all day.
Hey.
Absolutely, class of
Black and
'88.
gold.
Stand up. Yeah. Black and gold. I my first year, I went to classical.
Hey.
Why
Yeah.
you say it like that?
Hey. I would have moved the mic closer to you.
Yes.
Just in case.
So shout out to the Purple. You know what I mean? But the problem with classical was it was too close to Central.
All the fun was happening.
Oh
over there.
yeah.
The streets are
You
calling
know,
them.
Right.
Calling me.
Right. So that's where I ended up. And but yeah, no, no shade to either one. Like it was all love. It was still at the end of the day we all met in the plaza, so it was all love.
That's dope.
Yeah, yep. So, and born and raised here too. Born and raised South Side. Born on Dudley Street.
Okay.
Lived on Potters. Lived on Whitmarsh, and then
Oh, okay.
raised on Autumn and Rachel, which is a couple
Right over
blocks
here.
from where we're recording right now. So
Oh man, so
Yeah.
you from around here?
yeah, I'm Dogtown original all day. Exit
Hey.
18, absolutely.
I'm a transplant, so I'm learning Southside. It's
Yeah.
very exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm Dogtown through and through. Actually, Dogtown, it refers to where Allen Berry Center is now, or Urban League. That used to
Allenbury.
be the meatpacking district
Oh,
in the mid 1900s, and dogs used to come from all around to get the scraps and stuff. So that's how they called it Dogtown. So
that makes sense.
when you hear me say Dogtown, that's what I'm talking about. This
Oh, that's dope.
South Side.
We're
so.
getting some history.
it's a
lessons.
history.
Yeah.
I was excited about this. I went to Flynn, and that's not here no more. So
And that's not yo. Salute to Flynn. That was where I started when I started in the Providence School Department. I started at Flynn.
oh man, that was a good school.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, why they knock down Flynn? They could have started with someone
Yeah,
else.
Flynn was this. Yeah, Flynn
I
was.
remember when I was there, and I would ask like all my teachers every year, and no one gave me an answer. It was Edmund W. Flynn. And I'm like, what does the W stand for?
Yeah,
No one knows.
I asked that question, and somebody told me I just forgot. I just like it was
Damn
one.
it.
It was one of them ones that just
I was like, they
a
could
lot
have
of
just
Bond
made up a
residents
name.
took that spot. So yeah, sorry.
That's fun.
But
Wow.
yep. So
Yeah, I grew up in Washington Park, and we went to Roger Williams for middle school and
Yeah.
classical for high school. But I remember walking down Prairie and going to Allenbury and stuff like that. We weren't too deep in there, but
right.
walking by Oxford Gardens and all that stuff. So
Hey,
I
OG.
did all three. I did the three P's as far as school. I did private, parochial, and public
Oh wow. So
in that order.
how do you feel about that? Since
I
you
love
you
it. Absolutely love it because it taught me how to navigate a lot of different circles.
Yes.
And meet a lot of different people,
Mm.
and really helped me shape the way I walk and deal with people.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I am true. I do live under I subscribe to judging individuals and not making blanket statements. You know what I mean? I try not to anyway.
That's dope.
Right, but because I've met a lot of cool people in those times. You know what I mean, from all walks of life. So, yeah, private school was cool. Parochial school, Catholic school was, and it was Catholic school at the height of Catholic school with all that stuff you used to see in the '80s movies and stuff like that. The nuns, the rulers,
Yeah.
all that. So, it was. I remember getting hit in the back of the head by my 6th grade teacher, Sister
Oh.
Evelyn, for not knowing my prepositions.
Oh,
Yeah, because you learn in the beginning of class.
prepositions are hard.
Yeah, well, let me see. About, above, at, before, beside, between, by, down, during,
Yeah, like
step,
you
forth,
have
from,
to, like-
into, near, of, off, on, over, through, to, toward, under, up, with.
So you had to memorize them.
Yeah,
that was beaten into him because
that was beat into me absolutely because we did that. That's how we started class with that.
See, like, you can't just know a preposition. You can't look and follow a rule.
Nope. You just got to know 'em. And every morning, every class, we would start class by reciting the prepositions and then 4 type of sentences: declarative, imperative, interrogative, exclamatory.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she beat it in our head, and like
It stuck.
it stuck.
It
It
works.
absolutely stuck. So
Say what you want.
and I always English was my thing because math wasn't. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
okay.
I'm not gonna get burnt at the register, but once you started adding letters, you lost me. you lost me. So
What I gotta find next for?
yeah, and I'm
Who lost it?
I'm a word geek. I'm a sapiosexual. Like that's just my shit. Like so.
I don't know what that is. What's
Sapiosexual is someone who is turned on and by
by words?
by folks that can talk that shit. Like yeah.
We need Bim here. Again.
Because he's a sapiosexual.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, like-
yes, Bim be saying,
Every episode is like, what does that
what
mean?
does that mean? Are you sure that's what it means?
And he's never sure, but
guess.
it works.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's I don't know what it is. I get off on words though. I do. I like folks that can talk slang. I like folks that can talk educated. Like if you have a grasp on
Language.
language, diatribe, dialect, back and forth, I'm here for all of it. You know what I mean?
I feel that fits perfectly for your like personality.
It is my personality. I love to talk to people. I love to listen to people. Like it's to me it's an education, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every person is different. Everybody has their own story. You get to talk to somebody enough, you're gonna learn something,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
If not just about them, something you never knew it at all, you know. And the brass ring for me, although I'm doing it, and I love comedy, the brass ring is really nationally syndicated talk radio. I want to interview. I just like talking
Like
to
talking
people.
to people.
You know what I mean? I like it. I've mastered the art of schmoozing.
Elbow rubbing.
Yeah. And it's fun. It's fun, and it's allowed me. It's open doors for me that I probably wouldn't be able to get into any other way. You know what I mean? So,
Which brings me to my next question. How did you get into comedy? I mean, it seems like you have the gift of gab.
so I started as a rapper early on in hip hop's inception, right? And as 12, I picked up a mic. 12 years old, and did the rap thing. Chased a career. Left a single deal with Columbia Records on the table. And fast forward, that when that dream ends, I go into college radio, and I have friends that are DJing at every college radio station in the state, with the exception of Bryant at the time. So I've done college radio on PC. I've done Rick. I've done Brown. I've done CCRI, URI, CCRI. Believe it or not, CCRI used to have a small transmitter that only worked in the Warwick campus.
Oh,
You
wow.
had to be on the Warwick campus to hear it. And I did that. So BRU was my last stop. Like I did all those in my 20s. Now I'm in my 30s, and Don King, who used to run the Black Rep, shout out to Don King, and Jaywan Wilson, shout out to Jaywan, were part of a board on BRU who wanted to bring community jocks back into the BRU fold.
Okay.
Because the Sunday Black experience was anything but at the time. And they wanted to reconnect what they was losing numbers crazy. And they wanted to reconnect with the community, so they insisted that they brought in community jocks and community personalities to reconnect with the community and bring the numbers up.
Not to
So-
interrupt you, but did that happen because a certain wave of DJs left, or
Just no, because remember BRU at the time, you had to be a student
yes?
to have a show, and there just wasn't a lot of student interest
Gotcha.
or student interest that looked like us. How about that?
That works.
So I get on the gig. I got prime time. I got 12 to 2, and me and Paparazzi Rob. Shout out to Paparazzi Rob, who actually gave me the moniker Voice of the City. we do our show, and now towards the end, towards of what I know now to be the end of my stint at BRU, they call me and they say this was when sound session was still going on, and I think it was the last sound session they had.
Oh wow.
And BRU did had a concert at PPAC with the Dream, with the R&B artist.
I
The
love Dream.
And they asked me if I wanted to host. Absolutely. This is a big feather in my cap, right? This will beef my entertainment resume up. So absolutely, I want to do this, right? So they're like, look, you're going to be pretty much the music director because there's going to be opening acts as well. Okay, cool, right? And I just left it at that. The day comes, and this is going on in conjunction with BRU and a private promoter.
Okay.
Right? There's a wallet in all this.
Okay.
So I get there the day of, and there's no promoter. There's no representation from BRU other than myself.
Ooh.
There's only the opening acts and the man who literally opened and turned on the lights at PPAC.
Oh.
So I'm like,
Disaster. Oh my
right. So I'm like, wow, really? This is what we're doing. So when I figure all this information out and realize that the promoter ain't answering his phone, nobody at BRU is answering their phone, like they just left me in the
They
way.
set you up for failure.
I said, okay, but all right, but what we're not gonna do is fail.
Right.
Right. So I have the house manager make a general announcement on the loudspeaker. If you are part of this, meet this gentleman and this. So we met in the lobby. I said, look, I explained the whole situation. I said, look, we're gonna do this, but understand what I'm up against. So like, don't give me no flack over shit.
Right.
I'm gonna put this together. I'm gonna put this in order, and don't give me no grief over, because I don't know any of you, so I'm not invested in any of you.
Right. Don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal. Wherever you are on the list, it's only logistically. That's it. And because what it was a collection of acts with CDs and live band.
Ugh.
Right? So I'm putting all the live bands together and all the CDs together and then running them, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
because what I also don't have is a house band or a house DJ.
So you just.
So it's me.
Press and play.
It is me just running everything.
Oh.
And so what I can't do is say, give it up for Darren. He was great. Look, we'll be right back with Jen. I'm gonna throw it to the DJ in the meantime. I can't do
that.
It's me.
Yeah.
If I don't talk or do something,
Then there's nothing.
It's
happening.
nothing. Right.
Oof.
So
Oh my gosh.
right. So I'm pissed off. Right. Like, but I fight through, and I get the list, and we're getting ready to go wheels up. And now what I also got to remember is, all right, now that we're going wheels up, I can't go out there with the ice grill. Like, I can't convey this. I got to look like,
Yeah, you're
I gotta
having a
look
good
like
old
that. I got to
time.
be all
Yeah.
right. I got to be all teeth.
Yeah.
So I gas myself back up. And I'm like, yep, this is if you can pull this off,
Right.
you got a story, goddamn it, right?
Right.
So, I'm rubbing the bits.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. And I get the general introduction from the manager, whatever. Put your hands together for your host, bad lad, and because remember, I'm saying to myself, this is PPAC. This seats 3,200 people. Let's go, right? And that curtain comes up. There's about 120 people.
And scattered in PPAC, that must look like.
Nope. They all came to the front.
Oh, thank goodness.
So the very first row and like 25% of the second row.
Oh boy.
Wait. When I tell you, I've told this story hundreds of times, and I laugh every time at this point. So the curtain comes up, and I look. And they look, and there's just a pause. There's a beat of dead silence. And then we all just bust out laughing. Like,
Oh my goodness.
all bust out laughing, right?
Like, what's going on?
So what's going on? So now it is official. It is officially a train wreck. It is
Yeah.
officially a shit show, right? So fuck it. We're gonna stare into the skid. We're just gonna stare into the skid. So I shit on the show. I just rag on the show. I kill it. And but they're laughing.
Yeah.
But they're laughing. So
If they're laughing, they're entertained.
right.
Yeah.
So that was my shtick. I said, okay, that is what I'm going to do in between each one of these acts. We are just going to talk about each other in this show. So I get through. The dream was terrible.
Ooh.
Oh man, even the headline.
And I felt bad because I took my little sister with me. It was my first time. My stepmother let me take my little sister with me to one of my events. She's so worried about it, like because she's worried about the backstage, and I'm like, it is so not as glamorous as you think, right? And I wanted to show a good time, and we're in the middle of all this poor thing, and I got her helping me. She's 16 at the time. Like, can you? She literally helped me put together the show her first time out. Like, so Rayanne, I love you. So we go through the show, right? About a month later, I'm coming out of Providence Place Mall, and there's a gentleman coming in. So I hold the door for him. He says, thank you. And he says, hey, you hosted the Dream Show. I said, you were there?
You're one of the 96
He's like, yeah,
people.
right. You was one of the 100 people that were there. So he goes, me and my wife won tickets on the station. He said, and I was ready to go. I said, yeah, I was surprised that you see. He said, the only reason we stayed because my wife was like, look, well, I just want to hear what the comedian got to say. And then when he's done, we'll go. Yeah. And she said, and because of that, we stuck around and just stayed for you. So he was like, when's your next show? And I was like,
next show?
So, right. So, and it made me think like, maybe there's something to it. So up until this point, I've been doing hosting. I've been hosting, but I haven't been hosting like with the comedic overtones. Okay. My host has been like more hype man.
Got it.
Keeping energy up in between, like, because I was hosting mostly rap shows.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And
rapping and laughing don't really.
Right.
Yeah.
So the way I hosted shows was with a DJ playing high energy music and keeping the energy up.
Got it.
So when the next act comes, you ain't got to work as hard. So now this thing come, but I did this for a lot of different promoters, right, and curators. So now I'm thinking of jumping out this window doing this comedy thing. And I'm noticing these same promoters that was doing these shows started to bring comedy. So now I'm calling them mockers because a lot of them didn't pay me, and it was fine. Like it was an understanding. You know what I mean? I just wanted my face to be. I just wanted to be in the scene, just to be in love of the culture. You know what I mean? Some of them paid me, some didn't. But I always knew there would be a time where I could call my mockers in, and here we are. Yeah. So the first comedy show I billed myself as a comic, I opened for Tommy Davidson.
Oh, that was the recent one?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I was gonna say that was.
No, this was almost 10 years ago.
Okay, I was gonna say what?
Yep. So it was a Valentine's Day show at FET, and promoter was like, "Yep, you want to do this?" I sure do. And in that first year, cause I tell people all the time, I've been doing it for 9 years, but I've only been funny for 8 because that first year. it was
I like the honesty.
Yeah,
I like the honesty.
Yeah. So, but the resume, my first year was Tommy Davidson. It was Joe Torre. It was Brumman from the fifth floor, whatever, Martin. You know what I mean? Like I was. Wow. It was Michael Blackson.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, like my first year, like my resume ain't been the same since. You know what I mean? But I liked it. I knew I liked it, and I knew I wanted. But I knew what I was putting out wasn't it. Like I knew that because I said to myself, if I was sitting out there and I was listening to this, nope.
Really?
Nope. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, because I wasn't killing them. I wasn't dying, but I wasn't killing them either. Yeah. I was lucky enough to I was doing it in front of a lot of people. It was in front of venues that knew me. So it was like it was all home court.
So they weren't gonna heckle you.
Right. And it was gonna be gracious enough to laugh. Right. But I knew fundamentally I didn't have the fundamentals. I knew I didn't write jokes. I was just being funny.
Okay.
So like I was just
Okay.
So then there's
a difference. Okay.
Right. So somebody told me about a class at the Comedy Connection in East Providence, and it was an 8-week course.
Oh wow!
And they taught you the fundamentals, and I learned how to write a joke. I learned how to set up. I learned how to, if you're going to tell a story, the craft that goes into storytelling, and how. So in a story, when you're up there, as opposed to telling one-liners, and you're telling a story. A story is long.
Yeah.
right? Especially up there in that medium. A story is long. So the misconception is when you tell a story, it's a story with a punchline. And that's the misconception, because it's not so much a misconception, more as you can do that, but that punchline at the end of that story better be
good.
it better be murder, because you kept
Because you're
So what you learn is you got to give them jokes along the way to keep them engaged and keep them laughing.
Gender's happening for a
So
reason.
you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, so when you tell a story, there's got to be little jokes, little breadcrumbs along the way to keep them engaged.
Yeah.
So I learned that. I learned to not be the hero, to be the heel in most of your. If you're going to speak first person experiences, be the heel. Don't be.
Don't be
Because
okay,
right, don't be, because you're more relatable. You're more relatable.
Okay.
You're vulnerable, and it allows the and it works perfect. I won't say perfect, but it works wonders for what I do, because I just learned this the other day, that I'm the likable black guy.
I know a few of those.
Right, but because I do. Around here, the urban scene isn't as urban as you'd like it to be.
Okay.
Right? And that's no shade on the scene. As much as the wave started, right? Because I can name you the comics that are native to Rhode Island that I saw prior to me even wanting to be a comic. Right? But the wave where now you're starting to see more and more people do it. The wave did start with myself, Dale Culver, and Anthony Smith, a.k.a. Mr. Kuze. Because prior to that, any black comics that were here were from Boston. Were coming in from Boston.
Yeah.
Were transplants, and no disrespect, but we were natives. We were natives to Rhode Island, and prior to that, Tony Alves was the only person I knew from East Providence who actually went up there and wrote jokes. You know what I mean? And he was big inspiration for me. Like, inspirations for me are always people that are local.
Yeah.
That do it on a level where I'm like, holy shit. Because it finally, if it says to me, then I can do it. That was the whole thing with the rap and rapping. The Magical Four, DJ Buck and his rap group. They were older cats, but they were here. So it was like, oh, okay, I can do this, right? It's not just exclusive to New York or whatever. I can do this. And same thing with Tony Alves. It was like, wow, I can do, because people have always told me, like, you should do comedy. And when I was younger, all I wanted to hear was rap. I was a hip hop head. I was a rapper. I was an MC. That was my thing. And comedy was secondary. Sense of humor was secondary. But the reinvention came when I realized my love affair with the microphone and the stage is not going anywhere. And I got to figure out how to make this not necessarily a career path, but make it part of my life. Right? Because nothing else ever fit for me. I wasn't a college. College wasn't for me. Don't get me wrong, I taught for 21 years, and that was dope, and I love the nonprofit, but I'm burnt out. And
What'd you
now,
teach?
Special ed.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Right at Fogerty.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I was at Fogerty for my last 8 years, but Fogerty, Charlotte Woods, Feinstein High, Webster Avenue. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So, yeah. And then prior to that, I was at the Boys and Girls Club. So it was my entire career has been dedicated to nonprofit.
Dope.
But it's also kind of like the family business too. They have very many family members who have worked either in the school department or the nonprofit sector. So it's the family on both sides too, which was cool about it.
That's dope.
Both family sides of the family are prevalent in the nonprofit sector, so it's kind of like the trade. So, but now I don't know if it's a midlife crisis or whatever it is, but it's more the kids are grown, You know what I mean? And now I want to focus on my sanity, and that's where I'm most sane. That's where I'm most at peace, is on that stage, telling jokes on that stage alongside a DJ, just on that stage in front of people, changing the energy, just changing the vibe, and just wanting to either make them laugh, make them dance, make them just
Feel
escape
good.
the bullshit. Yeah, make them feel good, man. Like, I can't change the bullshit that's going out there. I can't, but I can
redirect it for a little bit.
I can redirect it for a little bit, and my drug ain't got them side effects that's gonna make you look funky later on. You know what I mean? It's just me and you just vibing out. You know, and I've loved every minute of it. I love being a native Rhode Islander. I love the scene. I love everything good and bad about the state. Right? It's a love-hate relationship, but I'm here for all of it, and I love I wear Rhode Island on my sleeve. I love being a Rhode Islander, and especially now.
Yo, the scene is so
we're
crazy
so
right
dope.
now.
We're so dope.
Crazy right
Oh,
now.
we're so dope. Like I learned it when I go to other big places, especially when the metropolitans that really boast about this shit, and I'm like, right.
I've been to Atlanta a couple times. I'm like,
I guess. Okay.
they're like, well, what do we eat though?
Burger.
Okay.
Checkers, fuck checkers. Like, y'all ain't got no Italian down here.
Yo,
Like,
man.
man.
I was with somebody in Atlanta, and I was like, yo, I want some pasta. And they brought me like lo mein. And I was like, this is
No,
not.
no, no,
I'll flip your whole state over. I'll flip this entire state of Georgia
This
over.
is not.
Cut this shit. Right. The actual hell.
It's noodles. All right.
No,
Get
that's
out my
not what I
face.
said.
That is not what I said.
That's
Asians don't call their noodles pasta. They call it noodles.
It's not what I asked
lo
for.
mein.
They call it lo mein or ramen.
Oh, ramen,
It's
yeah.
not pasta.
Maybe pho,
Right.
Yeah.
but
Right,
no.
yeah.
Nah, not this.
There's some bullshit. Yeah. How dare
It's
you?
funny. I was actually on the phone with Liz earlier today. She's my cousin in London,
Yeah.
but she went to JWU. She lived here a little while, then she moved to New York, and she went back to London.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I really got to get back to America and visit you guys. I've been doing the worst. I'm like, oh, no, it's fine. But I'm like, this summer was a really good summer. You missed a good summer. There was a festival like every weekend.
Right,
Shit was
right.
crazy.
There was
Right,
something to
yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I
that's
see it all
what
the
I'm
time.
saying,
Like, if you say there's nothing to do, you're boring. Like,
That has been my mantra for this summer too, especially this summer. If you are bored, you're boring.
it's you.
You're,
'Cause there's a
It's
lot of
absolutely
things
you.
and you are the common denominator.
And you don't want to drive. And you don't even have to drive that far.
No.
15
No.
minutes, you're going to get something.
No,
Something,
right?
yeah.
Because you know, our rule of thumb is 20.
Yeah.
Anything outside of 20 is
It's
a
a
fucking
lot.
inconvenience.
My brother went to Chapatcha. I ain't seen him in a while.
Here 27 minutes and I can't.
Yo,
Even my-
FaceTime or
yeah.
something, but
Even my house is like 23, 25 minutes.
You're right on the
a
fringe,
bad
yeah.
day, I don't get many visitors. So
right. You know, if I come over, you know I fuck with you.
right. Exactly that. Nobody just passes by because they're in my area.
right.
They're here to see
Right,
me.
there's a pull up. It's definitely right. We came specifically, right?
Yeah. Not even the beach will bring me to
Right.
Darren's house.
But I think you're talking about your journey in the comedian world and the classes. And I wish he was here. Bim and I have talked about or like
Bim left
played
you
with
hanging,
it.
so
He
you
did.
might
He
as well
did.
just leave him alone.
So we've always like not even like on the strength of like, oh no, comedy, stand-up comedy looks easy. Anybody could do it. Not like that, but like
More
I
from
would just love
curiosity
to
end?
try. Yeah, I would just love to try it. Like not even like I want to make a career out of it, but just to see,
How
the
it feels.
experience, how it feels, to see if I can entertain.
There's
a crowd
plenty of
for
open
that.
mics to test that theory. There's plenty of open mics around here to test
Yeah.
that theory. And since I've done that, many people have come out the woodwork and, yeah, man, I'm thinking about being, you know what I mean? So now, my stock response for the most part is, oh, word, that's what's up.
Yeah. Well, because
Yeah,
because
but-
I think it's like people. It's just like people see you DJ and they go, "Oh, I could DJ. That's easy. That ain't nothing
Right.
big."
Or we see
And it's so
podcasting.
Yeah, oh, that's easy.
I
That's
wanna
nothing
also
big.
podcast.
But
Right.
it's like no, like I have a great amount of respect for stand-up comedians, and just hearing the journey or the processes to even writing a good joke, like it makes sense because we watch stand-up comedy, but I can't say I would have initially like done that in making up a joke. So it's like, okay, like it's not that I ever thought it was easy, but like
There's a
there is a
process.
thing to this. It's
Yeah.
not just you're just funny and you can wing. Yeah, I guess if you're funny
at the
you
barbecue ain't funny on stage.
Not even a little bit.
Exactly.
Funny on the block ain't funny on stage. I tell cats that all the time because I tell cats all the time, your block ain't going with you. They're going to the first 3 shows.
If you're lucky.
That's if you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Like I said, so like again, Tommy Davidson opened for him almost about 3 weeks ago, and there was people that showed up that was like, "Yo, you do comedy?" Like, I've been out here, been out here. You know what I mean? So,
but I almost think that's better. I'd rather people discover.
I prefer blind fans. At the beginning, I was all of my fans. Oh, I would Twitter rant and all that.
Nobody want to come support me.
Yep. All
How
that.
dare you?
Now I don't care. And now, like you said, I prefer it.
Yeah.
I prefer because now any fans you get, it's authentic.
It's legit fans.
It's legit fans.
Yeah.
Blind fans are the best.
Yeah.
Like my favorite fan came one of the first times I did Friday night at Comedy Connection, and that's a level up. So when you get there, you cut your teeth on Sundays. Sundays is a showcase. It's for like 5-star open micers, folks that are starting to really hone the craft, right? But once you master that, now you start getting slots, hosting or opening for the big acts, or Friday night, which was the hardcore show. And the hardcore show wasn't so much hardcore with your material. Hardcore referred to the audience because they're coming on at 10:30, they drunk. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a deal. Okay,
right.
Okay.
So you got to be able.
You got to be able to handle.
You got to be able to handle shit.
Yeah.
I would see that online. I always thought hardcore comedy was just like raunchy jokes.
Right, a bunch of nah. It started going that way towards the end, so they rebranded it. It just called it the Late Show. But during the height of hardcore, it was the fans because they had a wheel. They had a drink wheel. Like a prize wheel, and it had shit like blowjob shots for the crowd, 2-for-1 shots, like everything all liquor related.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whatever you landed on, like you was basically getting fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So by the time you came on, you know what kind of crowd you was gonna get. You know what I mean? And the class was run by 3 instructors who were masters at this hardcore. Right? And they knew all the inner workings. So one of the weeks, because it was an 8-week course, one of the weeks they focused on hecklers. And you learned about the different kinds of hecklers. And you think to yourself, there's only one kind of heckler, but there's actually not. And one of so you got the general heckler, right? That we all think about when you hear heckler. Boo. Right, yup, boo. Or you think you're funny, motherfucker, or wanna be part of the show. The one that wants to go to work on Monday and go, I was funny to the comedian. Right? Whatever. But
I was like the hecklers right there. He's like,
because they're out there when they watch this. They're out there.
It's true.
So yeah, that's for them ones that go, I wish you would have said something to me. So yeah, fuck you too, right? But then you got the bridesmaid party. The ones that are super excited to be out. Yes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
Somebody got a sash on.
Right.
She's getting married.
Yes, you're right.
It's her birthday.
Right. The super supporter, the one who thinks everything you say is. That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
I don't need the congregation.
that's considered a heckler, like
because because they're doing like I don't need it. I don't.
Got it.
This is a lecture.
Got it.
This is not a discussion.
Got
This is
it.
a lecture. This is
Got it.
one person speaking. Rest of y'all listen. Y'all are here to listen.
Shut up.
Just shut up. And very rarely, because I don't like to engage. I don't like, and more importantly, because the average audience member didn't pay $20 to watch me talk to you. They came to watch me talk my shit. You know what I mean? There's parallels. So there's parallels to the music business. So I'll say it this way: you go to see Usher, you go pay $500 to watch Usher sing to her.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Same deal. And this is how the OGs put it to me. And when I say OGs in the comedy game, I'm talking about people that I consider mentors, but are like 10, 12 years younger than me. Because I started so late.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But Sam J. Sam J is a mentor. Whether she knows it or not, and yes, boo, you are a mentor. Even though you changed your number and I can't call you no more because you're fucking Hollywood. But I love it. I love that she did it. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I started doing rooms, she the first time I built a room and booked a room, I was like, yo, I want you to be my headline. And she was like, all right, lad, this is the last show I'm doing because I'm moving to LA. I was like, all right, cool. And she crushed it. We was at Platform. She crushed it. And she moved to L.A. It was in August. She moved to L.A. in September. And in that following April, she was on Jimmy Kimmel.
Wow.
Bang Zoom.
Wow.
But I had no doubt.
Yeah.
I knew that I met her in a comedy contest that I lost to her. I came in second. And I went up there. I killed it. And I was like, yeah, I got this. And then she went in there, and I was like, oh, I lost.
Never mind.
No, I did not. Right,
he became a heckler. He was like, boo.
No, I did not.
You go, girl.
Right.
all the different hecklers, and it's just me.
Absolutely.
It's my birthday.
Right. Yup, that. The other heckler that they taught us too, isn't even so much a heckler, right? So the class, right? Because we were talking about the class. That one particular week where we focused on hecklers, what they did was, because at this point you're formulating a set.
Okay.
So every Wednesday, because we met on Wednesdays, club is closed, ain't nobody there but us, the students and the instructions.
That's dope.
Right. So there's no audience. So you are really learning this in the moment, right? But this is like maybe week 5, week 6 that we're doing this Heckler Focus, right? So you have to go up there and you have to spit your shit, what you've got so far, and deal with whatever heckler situation they put together.
Yeah.
And my heckler situation wasn't any of those. It was a group of people disputing their bill.
So they're all loud talking to the waitress?
Right. So they're not even really, right? So like, fuck do you do with that? Oh. And my lack of knowledge on how to deal with that, all I hear is heckler. So I go at him like a heckler. And I look like the bad guy because, dude, we're not even
talking to you. Trying to figure out the
bill. It has nothing to do with you.
And
now you're a dick.
You want to try to...
Right, now you're a dick.
Now I got to fight the waitress and I got to fight you.
Right.
Oh.
And now as a comedian, you're fucked up.
You're the villain.
You're the villain. So it's like, wow. But I learned in that situation, so it didn't affect anything.
Don't give the solution. I feel like you're giving out too many gems.
Okay, all right.
To anybody.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Never mind how you can fix it.
Because somebody out there is like, oh, okay,
So
all right. Oh, no, okay.
I was going to say something too, but that's
no.
There's the evil one. He's like,
Yeah.
nope. Let him learn the hard way.
Go through the class or find the class of your way.
So, yeah, and
because I don't even know how you would deal with that.
I paid $250 for the class, right? And I made the money back with so they do a graduation show, right? 8 weeks of classes, and then the 9th week they do that Sunday showcase.
Okay.
And they book it with good local, like solid local comics to open it up, and then the graduates close the show.
Oh, dope.
And they push it and like they sell it out. So there's the seating house, and they really do like real big, right? So they did that, and I come off that stage, and a guy approaches me. He explains that he's here from Connecticut. His girlfriend or fiance or whatever, she's from East Providence. They was in town. They came, and he actually is the general manager of a bowling alley in Connecticut, and they have a room where they do comedy. And would I come?
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
And he paid me. Because I spent the night, put me in a motel. It was clean. Put me in a clean motel. Bar tab, food tab for me and my wife.
Nice.
And paid me. And he paid me 3 figures. Low 3, but I paid $250 for the class. So I essentially made my money back in that
very
first
quickly.
gig.
There you go.
And in that first 6 months, I made more money in that first 6 months than I ever did rapping.
Look at that.
I said, yeah.
Look at that.
Yep. And that coupled with the fact that I could tell jokes until they bury me.
Right.
Yep, and here we are. Yep, I'm in. I'm all in.
What a story.
Yeah. So,
Man, I'm inspired.
yeah,
I'm gonna go look for this class.
So what I will say to you is, again, if there's open mics, if you want to, I'll bring you to one. You can test the waters, whatever. If you do become serious, I always recommend the class.
No, I mean
some people take it, some people don't. I just know what it did for me. It turned me from being funny into being a comic. It really taught me.
Because there's a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I have a sense of humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I grew up. My sense of humor started with the snaps, with the dozens and shit. You know what I mean? And it was my It was my coping mechanism. I lost my mother at 11. So it was my coping mechanism. It was how I was able to make friends and get out of tight situations. So I've always had a sense of humor, but the stage at the time, I couldn't serve two masters, and I was all in on the rap. So once that
one
fell,
had to go to the side.
Right, and then once that fell, that hurt my heart because it fell apart. Like it fell apart, and we knew all we needed was a single deal. A single deal was enough. Where you get us a single deal and in front of some people, we'll do the rest. Yeah. And we'll make something of it. And it fell apart. So when I say we was right there, we were right there. So it hurt. So I fell back for a minute. Because also at this time, I'm raising a child.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, my oldest son is born a month after I graduate high school. And I'm all in on this rap shit to a point where I'm slacking on my parenthood shit. And this child lives in my house.
Okay.
Right? So, and it created estrangement between me and my father. Because my father was that generation that this is noise, it's a fad. This whole, you're talking culture, and I'm telling you in 3 years, this is going to be non-existent. And how do you tell a man who knows everything and your father, who's the same person, that what you know, what you feel, right? Because I knew, I just knew this feeling was not going to go away. And I knew my peers felt the same way. So, but how do you, especially, this is 84, 85, how do you say that without being disrespectful or being respected, right? Or your word even being respected, right? So it created that estrangement. So my sacrifice to this culture and what I wanted to do was real, So when it fell through, my father was like, all right, now it's time to be a father. So that's what I focused on. And I focused on getting a job and, and put my son through private school and doing that stuff, right? But I wasn't whole. There wasn't
missing that thing.
I was missing that thing. That thing. I didn't feel like I belonged to anything. I just felt like a drone. You know what I mean? I felt like I'm working and there was gratitude. There was something to grasp onto as far as the reward in being a parent and watching them grow and watching that. But from a personal end, the passion. I needed to create something. I needed to be a part of something. So the hosting was a good fix, but it was sparse, right? It was sparse because this is also still a time where hip hop was not accepted on Federal Hip.
Right.
It wasn't accepted on Broad Street in the Spanish clubs. So we're still fighting for these. So for me to be out and be one with that element was far and few between because it was only when the events were popping, right? Now we got this, and now it's more, and
now we're here.
Now I'm here, and then it's allowed me so many avenues like podcasts and interviews, and it's I would be lying if I said it wasn't rewarding to folks to see value in me just talking shit. Yeah. Whatever I'm talking about. Because I don't claim to know everything. I only talk shit about what I know about. You know what I mean? For real. I'm serious. You notice we ain't talked about algebra. We ain't talking about Eastern civilization. We ain't talking about interior design. Nothing. I don't know that shit. I know what I know, and that's what I talk about. You know what I mean? So,
it's safe to do it that way.
It's you find your tribe, right? You find your people, you find your pockets, and that's all it's out for me. It's all about the peace of mind now, right? 50 is all about peace of mind now. That's you know what I mean? That's the cool part about it now because I'm getting at that age where I can be the old guy now. He's just old. Leave him alone. Fuck yeah, I can say it. The filter can be off. They They dismiss it as me being old now. You know what I mean? So
that's true.
Yo, getting older is so much fun.
It really is.
It's great.
It's so much fun.
I mean, it's not great because the health shit too.
Nah.
but that's, I got myself to blame on that. But yeah,
I mean,
but
fried
like,
foods taste good. What do you want from us?
But realizing that, because I 50's surreal to me. It's still surreal to me, right? Because I'll be 52 in November, so it's the 50s are surreal to me. But I'm starting to realize, and thanks to other people who are bringing this to me, that 50 comes with a lot of stories. It comes with a lot of experience.
yeah, you've lived.
Yeah, I've lived. I can't believe, and I think that's what's hitting me, Darren. Is like I'm starting to realize, like, oh shit, I've lived.
Yeah.
Like, and cool, and I can, and I'm getting a chance to tell my story, and I'm learning that apparently my story's interesting. Right? And it's funny because one of the first times I performed comedy, right after this is post comedy school, right, class.
Okay.
Right.
I think I say COVID because that's what I
Yeah,
think.
no.
Somebody says post and I go COVID.
No. Post class, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm a comedian. Now
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a comedian. Now I'm telling people to come see me, right? And I'm sitting. My youngest son, he's in the backseat of my car, and I see one of my homies walk by, and I roll down the window. I'm like, yo, you gotta come see me. We're doing comedy, wherever I was. I don't know. I give him all the information, and my son jumps off the backseat and he goes, "You're doing comedy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he says, "Like telling jokes in front of people?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "People think you're funny?"
Wow.
And I had
Kids will humble you quick.
Yo, it'd be the ones that are closest to you, man.
bro. And he's the one. Like my oldest, he's the cheerleader. He is yay, whatever it is you're doing. Yeah. Yay, you're gonna be great at it. He's the one that's like, you sure? Are you sure?
They told you you're funny.
Yeah, right. He's the center. He gets me back. He pulls me back. And I had never thought about it until he really said it. I'm like,
now you sit there driving in your feelings like,
Am
am I funny?
And I'm like, I guess we're gonna find out on Sunday. I'll get back. Right? I'll get back.
Because you can't even take him to the club.
Right. But that's him. That was always him when I coached when he played football. I coached, but I didn't coach his team. I coached another team. I coached his team the first year. Me and my cousin, we both coached the same team, and our kids played together. And we realized after that first year, we cannot coach our children because we'll fucking kill them. Or they'll kill us. Either way, population will decrease because we can't do this together. So we coached another team, but did the same organization. And I wasn't the head coach by design, right? But I was an assistant coach. And for 6 years, and every year in the offseason, if we saw somebody would be like, you coaching next year? And hesitation. Every time you say, you coaching next year, my son will go, assistant coach.
Wow.
But, bro, that wasn't even necessary.
Wow.
I'm not interviewing.
Wow.
Like, yeah, bro.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, listen.
Wow.
I'll give you the best one. I give you the best fade. This is his classic all-time fade. We do a 40th birthday party for Ty Law.
I love Ty Law. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
That was my favorite.
Shout out to my man Ty, his wife Benny. Me and Benny went to Rick together.
Oh, nice.
So, it's his 40th, and we're doing it at launch. It's trampoline park.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And it's a closed party, but he's inviting the people that he's inviting. He's telling them to bring their kids.
Yeah.
So he's like, lad, you can bring your son, whatever. I'm like, cool. I bring him, and we're parking, we're setting up, and because me and Jay Scratch, right, we're setting up, and he goes, wait a minute, why are we here again? I said, this is Ty Law's. He owns it. And I explained the whole stuff. I said, we're doing this birthday party, and he goes, you know Ty Law? And I was like, yeah. And I explained the whole connection. His wife, but more importantly, because he used to come to Jovan's a lot.
Yeah.
And early in his career, my Aunt Beatrice, the owner of Jovan's, she was kind of like a surrogate mom for him. And really looked out for him.
That's dope.
Yeah, yeah. She like really looked out. Like he spent like Thanksgiving dinners and Christmas. He came and like that kind of stuff. So he kind of had like a mother on the road kind of deal, right?
Because he's not from here, but
He's
he
not
just played
from here,
here.
right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay.
So that connection too. So you know what I mean? I just explained the whole connection, and he goes, no, and he thinks for a minute. He goes, Ty Law knows you. Wow. Wow.
He's like, I didn't ask the question right the first time. Of course you know Ty Law. We all know Ty
We
Law.
all know Ty Law, right? We all know Ty Law.
He knows you back.
You right.
Man,
I was like, yeah, man, right? So fast forward, right? Because we get there before Ty's fast late, right?
Yeah.
And party's in full swing. Ty walks in. Now he's glad handing everybody, and he walks up to me, yo, lad, thank you, thanks again, man. Gives me a pound, and he gives me a hug, and he brings me close, and my son is to his back.
Yeah.
Right? But so I can see him when he pulls me close, and I hug him, and I go, I give him a look like, see?
Yeah, wait, how old is your son at this point?
Well, at that time, he was, maybe 9, 10.
Oh, he was young.
9.
Yeah, he was,
So you're like, I could fight you, but
it's frowned
it's
upon.
going to be frowned upon.
It's going to be frowned. And his mother was a DCYF. Here's what's sudden. It doesn't bode well for the kids. So yeah, all right. So
like, dang, you lost your kid and you got fired.
Right. Exactly. So this would have been bad all the way around. So, and now it's funny. Because he's 21 now, right? And he came with me to I had a show in Mohegan Sun this July, and it was a Thursday night showcase. But I was the headliner. And I know fools like, headliner Thursday night, fuck you. My name was on the poster board, motherfucker, my face and everything.
Monique wanted that spot.
So, headliner, motherfucker. Thursday night headliner in Mohegan Sun. When he came, and he actually laughed. So
there you
now
go.
he's
Full
one
circle.
of the people that thinks I'm funny. Right. And that's what I said. I said, so you think I'm funny? And he knew, and he remembered. And he just kind of blushed and everything. He was like, nah, he was funny. He was funny. So
That's funny.
So now I feel I've arrived because I've got his.
Because you got you,
All the other fans.
That's all I needed. I just needed you.
Yeah. Because I got to face him every day. He lives with me, so I got to see him every day. I got to see him face every day. Like,
if you would have bombed, he would not let you let that
He'd be
go.
like,
are you kidding? Oh man.
You want me to drive? You want me
People
to drive
pay for
home?
that.
More importantly, I probably would have heard him because he's a gamer, so I'd have heard him and I wasn't gonna see my father. Yeah, he was terrible. Like, you know what I mean?
Why he's man disrespectful? I didn't know what I was expecting.
Yeah, but it was
I would cry. I'd be really hurt. Now I don't want to try stand-up comedy at all.
I can totally see your kid.
I don't want
tell
to
you
bitch into my kids at all either.
I'll tell you this: you learn how loud silence can be.
Yeah.
I'm married, so I have a general idea.
Yeah. Nah, that's different. That's different, bro. Because because that silence you're familiar with. You know why that silence is there, and you know what to do or not to do with it.
Okay.
That silence in that medium, you don't know what to do with it because it's not a boo.
Yeah. It's just
It's
I'm
not
waiting.
anger.
I've said the punchline and I'm waiting.
It's nothing.
And you're like,
It's
do I
nothing.
That
keep
sounds
going?
terrifying.
It's space.
Do I
It's just
change
out there.
gears?
That
Do I
sounds so
And
try
you're like,
scary.
something?
no,
Nothing?
nothing.
All right.
No. All right. Right, because you don't know if they didn't like it because it was insulting, that you don't like it was funny, or if they didn't understand it. It's nothing, bro. It's out there, and it gives you nothing back. You're like,
It's funny because we went to see Tracy Morgan at Comedy Connection last time he came. And, Comedy Connection, not a lot of black people go there.
right.
So no matter who the headliner is, it could be any black comic, it's going to be 95% white people.
Absolutely.
And so he's doing his Tracy Morgan thing, but it's all these white people. And you could tell he's just like, oh, well, this is my thing.
You're gonna get this.
And if you don't like it, then oh well. Talking about I put my sperm on the railing in the projects, and he's like, if you find it funny, you find it funny. And we're like one of 3 people laughing. We're like cracking up, and they're all just in shock, like.
But more, what's crazy? You'd be surprised how well you're received with white crowds.
So
they pay and they come.
comic.
They buy their
fucking
tickets early.
They buy them early and they love it.
Because I'll look at shows and they'll be saying sold out. I have to get the tickets early.
I was gonna ask that. Like, is it? I almost feel like the white crowd is, again, I don't know nothing about stand-up comedy, but I almost feel like they're more like welcoming to our type of humor.
There's
like,
shit we can say that white comics can't say in front of white crowds.
Yes.
That is fact.
Yeah.
White comics will tell you that. That is absolute fact. And I just see it as another form of quasi reparations. Like, fuck you, good.
No, you can't say that.
Right. You can't do
Get
this.
over
Oh,
it.
well. Right. Yup. And I embrace it. But like, I remember one because I am very bad at. I'm trying to get better at, but I am super bad at video recording my sets because I learned initially to audio record because audio record is better.
Yeah.
For timing.
Yeah.
And and restructuring your sets. So I have a set that I did at a bar in Acushnet, Mass.
Oh, okay. So New Bedfordish.
Okay.
Right.
Somewhere.
Yeah, it's off of 195.
Okay, that's all I know.
Yeah.
But when you said that, I just went aesthetically because this was adjacent to a goat farm.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me paint the picture.
Oh.
It was at the Ponderosa.
Not the Ponderosa.
Okay. Well, good, right? So it
Anything
dirt
all
parking
right.
lot.
Cool.
70% of the cars are pickup trucks.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh
They're
dear.
actual cowboy hat wearers.
Oh dear.
On purpose. You
Oh
understand?
dear. Like they meant to.
Absolutely.
All right, honey, let's go.
Absolutely. I met a man with a cowboy hat and a tin box of cigarettes.
10
Wow.
bucks.
Yeah, bro. We are in, bro. We
Wow.
are.
We are deep.
I pull up, and I no bullshit. I pull up behind this was during the Obama administration.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. So I pull up behind a pickup truck. There's a bumper sticker.
I was gonna say bumper stickers. They always show
Yep,
you.
absolutely. The bumper stickers were on full display. On full display. You understand? So it says, does this truck make my ass look big?
that's
And my ass had an arrow pointing to a picture of Obama. So I walk in, and now the aesthetic is rustic.
That's stressful.
Rustic living room, complete with the deer head, the fireplace. You know what I mean? Like it
I
reads,
shouldn't be here.
I should not be here,
I hate that feeling.
but I'm here.
But I'm here.
And I give him 20 minutes of murder. And I dive right in. I dive right into that shit.
You lean into it.
Yep, I dive right in. Look, yep, you heard that right. My name is Bad Lad. People often ask me where I get that name, and I came up in this. Actually, this is my joke that I tell now all the time. People ask me where I get the name Bad Lad, and I take that pause and I go, "Yeah, I'm not really comfortable telling a room full of white people my real fucking name."
Wow. And they're like,
And they ate it up. And they ate it up. I said, "All right, let's go." Okay,
all right,
let's
we
go.
here.
Yep. And I did a call back to the bump. I said, because I see the bumper stickers. I see what you think of certain black people, and they gave that uncomfortable laugh. You know what I mean? But I did a call back to it in that same set because I was I have this joke because I say, look, I know you heard the name and you see the way I dress, and there's certain stereotypes. I said, and there's certain things that are typical black about me, and there's certain things that aren't typical black. You know what I mean? I talk, and the jokes come in what I consider typical or not typical. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I said, and one of them I said, I got stereotypical black people credit. I said, shitty credit. I said, I got good hood credit, but shitty regular. I said, matter of fact, if my hood credit score was my actual credit score, I'd move out the hood.
I'd be straight.
I'd move way out the hood.
I wouldn't have a credit anymore.
Yeah. I'd move out the hood, right? And I said, and I'd move to a Acushnet. And then laughing. I said, get in the bumper sticker business. Bang! That was it. I could do no wrong, right?
Oh,
After
man.
that, everything was murder. And ended up after that, got booked for a couple of private events through them people.
Nice.
And it just goes to show you, like, what I learned in that event was our political views be damn.
Funny's funny.
Funny's funny.
Funny's funny.
Funny's funny.
Like it make you laugh?
And it now what prior to that, if all we would have had was discussion on our views on that bumper sticker,
of course we wouldn't be
you
fighting.
wouldn't have felt the way you felt about me. Mm-hmm. But here we are, and now you're welcoming me into your home. You're having a pig roast. We're having a pig roast. We want you to perform. Like, you know what I mean? Like shit like that. And it was just, so this comedy shit has brought me so many different places, and it's like, it's dope. It's dope. I love the ride. I really love the ride, and it's where I want to be. It's definitely where I want to be.
What a story.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What a story.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So you're also on the radio now.
Yep.
I'll be
Back
here,
home.
you.
Back home.
And so how is that going for you?
I love it. Shout out to Franchise.
Yep.
For seeing it, seeing that in you, seeing it in Please Delete, seeing it in me, seeing it in everybody that he's given a chance to showcase. Right.
The way he's put that together has been really impressive.
Right.
Yes.
And he's not just giving anybody a shot. Like he's being strategic.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
He sees something in you. He sees something in me. He sees something in Boom. He sees something in Uncle Levin and D Nap and all them guys at No Request Radio who do Saturday nights and do their podcast. He sees something in all of us and has given everybody a chance to do what they want to do, right?
Yeah.
And it's refreshing. It's refreshing. I didn't grow up with that. You had to fight for it. You had to prove. You know what I mean? And I won't say I didn't grow up with it because I had connections to people, but I grew up at a time where I was fully aware that I had advantages that other cats who were trying to jump in the game
Got it.
didn't have connections. It was just trying to it was hard. So like I also commend him as a tastemaker because DJs aren't tastemakers anymore. DJs used to tell you what was dope. This is the new hotness.
This is the song, but I'm gonna play it 10 times in a row.
Right,
You're
DJs
gonna love the song by the
records,
time I'm
right.
done with it.
Yeah.
And more importantly, they broke artists from their area.
Yeah.
And he has created such an avenue for young artists, and it's for if he told some guy, I forget dude's name, Fuego. Was it Fuego? I think he got signed to Conway the Machine, to Griselda. He got signed to Griselda on the strength of his freestyle on the franchise report.
Wow.
So like he's really giving folks an actual chance to be seen.
Yeah.
And no DJs, even my A-team DJs ain't doing that.
He's not discriminatory either. Like
No.
he even let Warat come on, and he got a lot of flack for that.
Yeah.
But he's like, these guys are pulling numbers. They're doing something.
They're doing
They have a following.
right.
give him,
And
Let's
he
see what it's about.
Right, and he stood to he stood on that. He died on that.
He took
hill.
those guns.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
like salute to that. So that means a lot because it speaks to his ties to the community, and you know, to be able to do that not with a nonpartisan slant.
Yeah.
And you know, altruism aside, you know what I mean? Like that speaks a lot to a man's character.
Yeah.
So you call on me, and he invites me up, right? First as an invite, and I just come up, and now he's like, "Yo, can you come whenever you can come?" Which to me says he sees value in me, and I am always gracious of anyone that sees value in me in this medium. You know what I mean? It's always valid. Anyone that says they're not looking for validation, you're lying, motherfucker. Lying. And I mean, it ain't right.
Darren and his middle fingers.
Because it's so great.
Because I don't mean like big validation, but to some degree, like if you quantify it to some degree. Otherwise, what are we in it for?
Yeah.
Right? What am I telling jokes for if nobody's laughing? If nobody's there to laugh or nobody cares to come to laugh, the fuck am I telling jokes?
What am I
Right?
here for? Yeah.
So there is validation to some degree in all of it. So when any person that comes to me and says, I find you funny, I am always thankful for that. People were like, no, I'm serious. No, I'm serious.
I'm serious. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, I appreciate that. You know, and like to my super fan, there was an 80-year-old white woman, her and her husband. She gave me the best compliment I've ever heard. And it was, you were the funniest. I don't care what anybody says. Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that shit? He said that. And like,
I've heard them say some things, and by far you're the funniest.
right. I don't care what anybody says, honey. You're the funniest. I was like, I said, you know what? Me neither. You don't care what nobody says?
I don't care.
Yup, because I'm with you. And I don't know what her name was, but I'm going to call you Fran. Thank you, honey. Like, I don't give a shit what nobody says either. You're the catalyst for that shit.
I know that's right.
I could see her name being Fran. I don't know what she looks like, but
She was a pimp. You know what I mean? The little sparky, like you 80. It's 10:30 at night. You're supposed to be home.
you're supposed to be asleep.
You're supposed to be asleep.
supposed to
You
be
out here,
out here
right.
talking to me.
And you dragged your husband. He didn't want to.
He wanted to be asleep for sure.
Right, he definitely wanted to be asleep
Yeah.
or in front of the TV. He did not want to be here.
No.
But yup, and he responded like that too. Didn't I say? Yes, you
Yes,
did.
you
Yeah,
did,
like
honey.
whatever it's gonna take to get you up out of here, get the fuck home. You know what I mean? But you didn't care. I don't care either. Fuck
There
yeah.
you go.
But yeah, this year has been dope, bro. This year has been funny. How about that? Funny, and I don't mean funny, right? But it went through a little bit of bullshit, right?
As we all do.
Right, and on the strength of this list shit, we're not gonna go deep.
That's not.
We're not gonna go in that rabbit hole. But but what it did was spark the creative side to me as a reminder, because what I got through that barrage of comments that was only diverted by the slap heard around the world. That was the only thing that took folks' mind off of me.
That's
was
true.
the slap heard around
You know what's so
the world.
crazy is I didn't even see the list. I didn't even see the post, but I heard so much about the post and about the list. I'm like, but how can people be that mad?
From people who sit in your subset of the Venn diagram, who didn't see the list either, who had a bunch.
How do you have such
Who are
a
just
how do you have such
mad?
how do you have such
just
an
shut
opinion?
down the algorithm. Just
Yeah.
felt the algorithm.
Why are you so mad though? Because if I make a list of 10 things,
Let's make a list of 10 things. Actually, no, we made a list the other day.
More importantly, here's the thing.
it was your opinion.
More importantly, I never said anything. I gave nothing but flowers. I never insulted anyone.
It's kind of like that how to make your man smile thing.
Oh yeah, that was another good list. No, how to make a man happy? No,
How
smile.
to make him
Or
smile?
there was like a list floating around of 10 things you could do to calm your man down or something like that.
Calm your
Right.
man.
Yeah.
So to not stay on that, what came out of that for me, right? The epiphany that came up, because how do I take this shit and turn it into sugar, right? How do I? Because it's not what I want, but eyes are on me, right? All eyes are on me now. So okay, so how do I, right? How do I make this work for me? And now what's I'm noticing in all the trending comment is, who's he? Who's he that, right? Besides the motherfucker they asked, because that's my stock response. I'm the motherfucker they asked.
Yeah.
But I knew it meant more like who's he, what's his credentials, right?
Okay.
So fuck it. What I ended up doing, right? And at this point, I'm doing my comedy. But what I did do is I went to Franchise Report, spit a 48 bar freestyle,
Oh, damn.
no hooks.
Okay.
That's a lot of bars.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone who don't know,
Yeah,
48 is a lot.
It was actually 54. I mean 64 because I did 16 up front, and then I did an over one beat, and then I did 48 over another beat.
But who's keeping count?
So
So that's 8 sets of 8
right,
bars.
right. So then,
Good job.
yeah, I did 3 verses, and your 48 is 3 verses, no hook. You know what I mean? Essentially. And then I got a blend CD that should be dropped in before the end of the year. So it was just, let me fucking remind motherfuckers exactly who the fuck
I am part of this scene.
I am part of this
I
scene.
am the scene.
And I do a lot of shit, and I don't say I do it because I don't like to flex. I don't like to toot horn. I like humility is my shield, I'm proud of that.
Because there's something to letting people underestimate you.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're like, that's
Yeah.
cute.
By the way,
Right. And by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I do the Franchise Report, and I got a couple cats calling me for features. You know what I mean? And like this, only a few cats know about the blend CD thing, but it's just another way to just say like, look, man, I'm a creative dude. And like, let's. It's my opinion. It's my fucking opinion.
That was me at the
That
end
was
of
my
the day.
thing.
I'm like, why are you mad about somebody's
Somebody's
opinion,
opinion.
though?
Right.
Make your own list then.
And it wasn't until the way the story goes was because it had no traction, right? I do the list. I actually put together of audio like slideshow because he wanted video to come to assist the audio, and he wanted to post it.
Sorry, for anyone who doesn't know what the list was, can you just real
Oh,
quick?
top 10 my top 10 DJs, Rhode Island DJs.
Okay.
Right? So and fun fact, he poses this question to me 10 minutes before we go on air.
Oh, why not? He likes being messy.
Right.
He's
He
good
does.
at it.
He does.
You know what it is? It's like, I don't really feel like doing anything today right now, so
I'm gonna make them fight.
let me make them fight.
Yeah,
While
yeah.
I just sit here and look at the monitor.
But I accepted the challenge, right? Because I can do it.
Yeah.
Like I could, and because at first I was like, that's something you got to give me some time to do. And I was like, you know what? If I give myself a criteria, give myself a rubric, it'll be easier.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do breaks in between it. So there was music breaks in between it, so it would give me time to make sure. But yeah, but again, it was my opinion, and it had no traction. We put it up on social media, and it has traction, but not traction, right? It's just the general social media,
like
whatever.
here, comment here.
It wasn't until someone else posted the words "no disrespect," but
that's a trigger.
Right. That's a trigger.
Yeah.
And but the funny part about it is when you hear "no disrespect," but the words that follow are usually
disrespectful.
Well, but they're usually an amalgamation, right? Something amalgamation of words that make you go
Word. What is what?
A collection of words that relate to a certain thing, that make you go, all right, that's disrespectful, right? There's certain words that go, oh no disrespect.
no, it
You
means
said
that.
this. Of course you was being disrespectful. No. You said no disrespect, but not having a certain DJ in your top 10 list is disrespectful. You didn't even use semantics. You said
You just went straight for it.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like you said no disrespect, but
You can't use the word in the definition.
you can't. That's not how that works.
Come on,
It's
man.
not how words work.
Come on,
Not
man.
these set of words. That's
I'm one of those people that'd be like, garbage means. Garbage.
right. You understand what I'm saying? So when disrespectful hit the algorithm, that's when the minions came for me. That's when they came with the pitchforks and
Did they?
torches.
That's fun.
You know what I mean?
Boy, did they.
Yeah, and boy did they. And none of them, and I mean none of you motherfuckers knew what the fuck you were talking about. None of you. My God. Because they were so disrespectful. That's the funny part, right?
Yeah.
Because they're coming to the aid of respect. They're coming to, you were being disrespectful. Let me
And they weren't even born when you was out there putting out rap.
God, they were so disrespectful. I was a pussy. I got stepped to.
Not step
No,
two.
over a list?
Literally,
My
step
friend.
two, and folks had to part in between.
Over a list? Were you stepped to by like a DJ?
No,
Just somebody who felt that.
I was stepped to by a family member of a DJ.
Wow.
Really?
People gotta relax.
That's crazy.
I had a fight.
Right. We say all the time we can't fight.
I cannot fight. That's why I got into comedy, bro. That is why I got into comedy. That is why I promise you. That is why I cannot fight.
So
I've had 5 fights in my life. I am sub 500. I am below 500.
It's batting
Cool that I
average.
can't, but it's fine. It's fine that I can't
There's no
fight.
shame in
Right.
that.
There's
None.
no shame in it.
There's no shame in that.
Because you know why? I don't put myself in situations to fight.
Right.
At least so I thought. Right?
But
Except
didn't
for those
you-
5 times.
but-
Right. Except those 5 times. Right. And so.
Almost 6.
Yeah, here we are. Right. Right. Almost 6, right? And this one comes damn near 30 years later.
Wait,
since
I'm
my
sorry.
last, so I'm really out of it.
Help
Yo,
me
if
understand.
I'm 50 years old and somebody tries to step to me, I'm gonna be like, you don't move up my face.
Help me understand. How did this person? Hey, you made the list.
I made,
You didn't
I
put
made
my
eye
cousin on
contact.
there?
Nah, because so right.
Because I can't imagine.
Because for a whole week, right? So when the algorithm, when the minions came, right? I let the minions run their mouth for a week, for 6 days.
Yeah.
We're going to round up, right?
Yeah, close enough.
6 days, and I say to franchise, because with me and franchise are corresponding through all of this, and he's checking in, he's doing wellness checks, because they're really coming. And I say, and I'm like, look, man, I'm not going to engage on social media, primarily because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
This is too fucking much. This is laborious. I can't. No.
Laborious.
No.
He put that up. Laborious.
It's just too much.
I can't have never even said that word in my
And
life.
I'm old, so I prefer this. I
wanna talk.
prefer
Let's have the
conversations.
conversation, yeah.
Right. And everybody that I had issues with during all this, I didn't do this. Because everybody that had issues with me did this and took subliminal shots at me. And anyone I felt as though I needed to talk to get shit off my chest, I didn't do this.
Yeah.
I did this.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk.
Or I did this. I made a phone call. Right? You heard my voice. You're not gonna lose in translation something that's
Through
being
text.
typed. Fuck that. No.
He forgot to put LOL. He meant that.
Right.
Yeah.
So no,
didn't
you're gonna know exactly. You're gonna hear inflection. You're gonna hear cadence. You're gonna know exactly how the fuck I feel. You know what I mean? So we do that, and fast forward. This is and the person says to me like 6 weeks later.
Wow.
Literally a month and a half
It's
later.
not even a thing anymore.
It's not even
guys.
a thing anymore. Which also shows, and it was in a public place.
Of course.
Right? So, and to know me is to know me enough is to know I ain't hiding.
Yeah. Too big to hide.
I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. If I'm not everywhere, I don't eat. So I'm on the radio. I'm at 148. I am never hard to find. I am Southside till I die. I am not hard to find. Right? But you want to wait to this public venue. And so I'm shaking hands, and actually it's a pound and hug exchange with someone connected to this person. So as the person pulls me close for the embrace, I see him over my shoulder. I see the person, the combatant.
Good word.
And I nod, right? Because I know he's connected to these people, and I know these people are in their feelings, right? So I know this, but I give him that nod like it's all
Fine.
love.
Yeah.
And I stick my hand out for the handshake. And he shakes my hand and yanks me close.
Oh.
And says some slick shit. Excuse me? And he repeats himself, and I go, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he takes this as this and squares up, and I'm like, oh, no, that's not happening. Just like that, I saw what I saw. I said, oh, we're not doing that.
That'd have been me. I'd have been like, what are you doing?
Right. No, thank you.
No thanks.
Right. So I removed myself from the problem. Shout out to my man Sal Montero, Institute of Nonviolence. That's something I learned in there. You remove yourself from the problem. So I removed myself from the problem. So it didn't come to anything, but just in reflection, it's like wow, right? So it's
Stirred
just,
up emotions.
yeah, a lot of different emotions. I really struggled with a lot of emotions during this time because people really, because I don't entertain it as much, but now that we're talking about it, I still can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
The fact that over an opinion, and the irony of it is, what's disrespectful is telling me my opinion is disrespectful. That's what disrespectful is.
Yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
all have an opinion.
And that's what makes people great, right? Because the cool part about it, right before this other bullshit, when people who did see me, what they would do is give me their list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
It starts a conversation.
And now it starts a conversation, and you learn
yeah. Oh,
about
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
never saw that. Yeah.
Right. Because essentially everybody's a list is going to be tailor made to your personal experience.
Yes.
Right. I felt mine held a little more weight because there wasn't just names. There was names with explanations.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you learned a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my criteria was, I thought Tom Brady, right? You think GOAT, you think Tom Brady. You got it. I'm not even a Patriots fan, but let's just be clear. Brady's a GOAT, right? When we think Michael Jordan's the Brady's, right? You think of people who have excelled at their chosen profession over an extended period of time. So while Tom Brady could arguably right now not be the best quarterback in the league right at this moment, he's still one of the best.
Yeah.
Right? And he competes at an elite level still. And that was my whole thing with these guys that I chose. They are still competing and still moving on par with the greats active players right now. They're getting booked in the same clubs, they're getting booked at the same venues, they're making on par with the same money. Cause let's be clear. Let's back this all up on this ego shit. We all, DJ, MC, host, I don't give a fuck what it is you do in this culture. We all have second jobs.
Yep.
Even politicians have
So
a
let's
day job.
comment the fuck down, right?
Yeah.
Everybody want supremacy and royalty. We all have second jobs. We all have jobs where we use our real name. Stop. So like get off the pedestal. You know what I mean? Like for real.
Yeah.
And for as much as I do love the 401, we are still
Something where you got
we
a
are
badge
still
in.
part of a
No,
country.
I'm not DJ DK at work.
Right, we're still
guys.
part of a country where 40% of the population don't even know we exist.
It's just Darren.
Like let's just so chill out.
Yeah.
Just chill out and let's just enjoy the ride. Let's enjoy what we got. You know what I mean? So
I was just thinking about that the other day, actually. Why don't people know Rhode Island's a state? Like, I understand you don't have
they're
to.
fucking dumb. Americans are stupid.
Like, you don't need to know where it's at. You don't need to know how big it is. But if you say Tennessee, I know it's a state.
And the part about me, I get in my feelings. They be like, "Oh, little Rhode Island, motherfucker, we the original 13, nigga. We the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. You're welcome."
They came here first.
Right.
We were just too lazy to go sign the little Constitution.
That's all that was.
That's all that was.
We didn't
but
feel like
started
leaving
it.
that day. Yeah.
But we started it.
We partied with the Narragansetts the night before and just couldn't make the trip that day.
I
Like,
said both of you guys. Oh, that's it. That's all that was.
yeah, that's like,
They wanted to meet at 6:30 in the
light work
morning.
niggas. Yeah,
I was asleep.
we're the ones that started religious freedom. Fuck y'all. Y'all don't, man, get on our level. Fruit of the Loom started here.
They was
motherfucker.
like, "Yo, Roger Williams, like, we need this signature. Like, what you doing, fam?
right. You bullshit. He's like, yo.
I got bitches over here, though."
I'm trying to make this list. Guys.
Right,
Come on.
right. You know what I mean? So,
Top
yeah.
10 Puritans.
yeah. And I used to get angry when people didn't know where Rhode Island. It's not a us thing. I learned it's not a us. That's a you thing.
Yeah.
That's an indictment on the American school system. That's what that is. You don't know about us. That's your loss. We're fucking dope.
So,
We're real dope.
in speaking about lists, I think you've come up with another list
Which was?
recently, right? We were going to talk about this hip hop Rhode Island.
Oh no, Hall of Fame. That's not a list.
Okay, sorry.
It's an award.
Okay.
Got it.
It is. We have something we're starting. Donnie Battle and I, and we're starting to collect more people to help us with this, and it's just our way to give our flowers to our vanguards,
I like it.
right? Because our hip hop culture is one that is we stand alone in this, and I'm not proud of it. It is because let's say genre, right? Let's just take the music.
Mm-hmm.
We are the only genre where a youngster jumps into the game and doesn't go back. A kid picks up an electric guitar and he goes and listens to Clapton. He goes listen to Hendrix, right? Kid picks up drums, jazz drummer. He goes back listening to whoever, Coltrane, Buddy Rich.
I see what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? We're the only
Yeah.
ones that don't go back and listen to, not even Run DMC. Don't listen to Fearless 4. Don't listen to Crash Crew. Don't listen to Treacherous 3. Like, I know I'm speaking German right now to people under 30 right now. I know them names ain't ringing bells at all, and it's terrible. Because at the same time, they want supremacy, they want recognition, they want validation, and you want to dismiss the motherfuckers that did it when the shit wasn't popular. You understand what I'm saying? And like, these people need to be recognized, because if it wasn't for them, a lot of you would be fucking shooting basketballs or selling drugs. I know that sounds bitter, but
It's true.
real shit. Real shit.
That's
You know
an
what I mean?
excellent point that you made.
And not just the people in our community, but like Busta Rhymes said, hip hop made money for people who don't even like the shit. You know what I mean? So I also know them people who are young right now and can't see the forest for the trees, don't realize that they're gonna be me at some point.
If
And
they're lucky.
if they're lucky, right? But I say that optimistically that they
Yeah.
will be.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So when you become me, and you've done what you've done, you don't want somebody younger than you dismissing what the fuck you did.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Very true.
And you shouldn't, nor should you. So don't shit on me. And more importantly, like, it's you cell phone niggas, don't shit on Alexander Graham Bell. If you didn't make the phone,
You wouldn't be here.
you wouldn't be here.
iPhone wouldn't be a thing.
Well, iPhone wouldn't be a thing. You understand what I'm saying? So the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, I want to bring to light the people that y'all hold me in high regard. Let me show you how I became me. Let me tell you who my heroes were. Let me show you who started this shit called hip hop, and did it in the churches and the parking lots and wherever they would allow us to do it, and to a point where everybody was like, all right, I accept it, and let's bring it in. You know what I mean? And it's funny because talk about full circle situations. I remember arguing for validation with my elders, right? Yeah. For validation of my craft and my culture. Now I'm doing the same thing with kids half my age. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? And it's I'm learning to not invest my time in that and kind of just let them run their mouth and just snicker and find my tribe and talk cryptically. Yeah. You know what I mean? And wink and nod and shit and have conversations like we have. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been doing, is just trying to find like minds in this shit where I can decompress at times, and but I'm always gonna create. I'm always gonna do. I learned that during COVID, right? That was COVID became the time for. I think it was the best time for creatives. Creatives was a perfect time. It shut everything down. It gave us
quiet.
Yes. It gave us a clean palette. It was like, all right, what can I do? And the blend CD actually came from COVID. I was right. It was the day before lockdown, day before the 90-day lockdown. Craze called me. He's like, yo, come to the crib. And we're talking, and it's just a regular day. And I was like, yo, why did you call me over? And he points to the corner. In the corner of his room, it was a computer, a controller, and the whole setup. And he was like, yo, take that with you so you don't go crazy.
Oh.
Because it was weird right before the COVID really hit. They were kind of like talking about it on the internet. They were talking about it on the news, and you're like, do I need canned goods?
Right, like, is this going to be one of those apocalyptic situations?
Yeah, I was very nervous.
Right, and I take it, but I'm not understanding where he's at with it. I'm not understanding the impact, right? And now, because now I'm doing virtual teaching, right? And I'm in this rut, and I ain't unpacked this shit yet. I'm in this rut. I'm like, and then I see it. I'm like, Next thing I know, about 3 weeks later,
having fun.
I got a whole blend CDs all done. I sent it to him. I airbridge it to him, and it's been sitting because there's other there's filler, there's non-blend shit that I want to do for what I'm creating, because it's when I jump. I either try to be the first to do shit, or if I didn't be the first to do it, I want to do it differently. So no, I'm not the first to create a blend CD, but when I do it, it's not going the way I got it set up. It's not going to sound like any other DJ's blend CD.
That's dope. It's
going to come in a way that you're going to go, all right, okay, lad, I get it. It makes sense. It makes sense. I can see how you do that. So
now, because I know you have a lot of knowledge from before we were even born. So is blend CD, because it always feels to me like blend CDs is a very, if not New England, a very Rhode Island thing. Am I tripping?
No, you are not tripping.
Okay.
The birthplace they say it's New York. I don't know. I really don't. And I'm not saying that to I can't confirm nor deny.
Right.
And I'll defer because it's all hip hop and, right, you just give it to them, right? But we are serious about our blend shit.
Yo, as soon as the first day of 60 degrees, you're going to hear an old school car.
You fucking right. And it's going to be beating some shit. So, absolutely. And I tell you, we're serious about our shit. We're absolutely serious about our shit. Yep. We have Mike Nice to thank for that. Mike Nice was the pioneer. He is him and Buck. But like Mike really, because Buck did it, but Buck always juggled a lot of plates, right? So he was excellent at everything, but he had a lot of plates. So he wasn't Mike at that time. Mike was and they weren't blend CDs then. It was mixtapes. You know what I mean? There's a certain pocket of Rhode Island is mixtapes to us are what they refer to as blend CDs.
Right.
because they were mixes on tape, right? The mixtape, the fuck. So he was incredible because not only did he pioneer it, he improved on it during his time in it, right? So you figured acapella instrumental, mash them together, you turn something that wasn't something to something, right? But now he's evolving and he's adding more beats to one song. So now, like, if an average song has 3 verses, now he's putting three songs. He's putting 3 beats on it. Each verse gets its own beat. Now he's splitting the verse. Now he's splitting the verse, 16-bar verse. Now he's putting 2 beats, 8 bars for one, 8 bars for the next. And now you're getting 6. And he's just, you know what I mean? So before you get a slew of Rhode Island blend DJs, he's already set a standard. So now, if you're gonna jump in this game and you're gonna jump in this game as a blend CD, you already gotta be on your shit.
Yeah.
You can't just be putting shit together. You just can't be BPM batching, right? And this is prior to Serato and all that. So you have, if you're a DJ worth your salt at that time, you have your vinyl collection, and what you have in the corner is a white piece of tape with your BPM written on it. So you know it. Right? So, like, you know what I mean? This is...
I was going to say, because you couldn't just Google. Like, now you could Google.
Well, like she says, with Serato, the BPM
tell you.
is posted on there. 86 beats per minute. So you know if your instrumental is 86 beats per minute, you got to get an acapella with that same range.
Doesn't it put the key too on
there?
Right.
Huh?
Does it put the key on there too for you?
On Serato,
yes, on Serato it does. And that's the thing.
Before.
Your BPM range, it got to be in that neighborhood, because if it's too far and you try to meet it, now you're off key. Now your key changes, right?
But
so
Serato helps with that too.
Right. Serato helps with that too.
Serato makes it very easier, I should say.
Right. So with vinyl, you had to, and to this day, I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they counted beats per minute.
I was going to ask you, like, did they just literally have a minute glass? And
no, they knew it.
They knew. I don't know how they did the count.
Yeah.
It was with a minute. But how you counted the beats in the minute,
no
like,
idea.
I have no idea. I have no fucking idea.
But I feel like watching my dad DJ, I could see, like, him, like, kind of, like, going along with it.
Right, because it could be how many nods are in that minute.
And then you kind of, like, match that to whatever. Like, that's how I DJ.
Right, like, but on, like, back when they used to have to manually count them, I don't know how they did that. You know what I mean? So, but to me, is a superpower.
Right.
It's a fucking superpower that you can do that.
You know what's funny? You know? To go back to the list, people that don't understand that concept are upset.
Came at him.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a DJ, but I can set up a DJ equipment. I can set up a whole setup, speakers and everything, and not with a controller. I can set up turntables. You can leave 2 turntables, a mixer, an amp, a receiver, and speakers, all separate, all in separate pieces. I'll put that shit together. To this day, I can do it. I can, and it's even easier now with the laptop and all that. It's fewer pieces.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I mean? And I've learned recently how many DJs don't know how to do that. All they know how to do is
plug in their laptop and then control.
Plug in their laptop to the controller and control it into a PA system.
And go.
That's it. That's it. And they don't know about gain staging.
Oh yeah. They don't know about equalizers.
They don't know about equalizers. They just everything's on 5 o'clock.
Now we're talking about old people stuff.
Yeah. Like
this is old stuff.
But it shouldn't be. But it shouldn't be. Well, you understand? Because
it's like the fundamental.
Right. And so when like a lot of times I'm on my soapbox, it's not because I feel like just grunting and groaning. I want us to be better. Yeah. And there's a standard we should set for ourselves. It shouldn't be famous over good. You know what I mean? The fame will come. If you're good, the fame will come. But everybody's worried. But social media got us being famous first.
For no good reason.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck is Paris Hilton a DJ? How is she anything? Right? But more importantly, how the fuck is she a DJ? Her fame got her, and to me, that fame, they trade their fame to do bucket list shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like whole thing with T.I. Like,
yeah, wasn't he trying to be a comedian?
Fat Joe's trying to be a comedian.
and I'm actually here for Fat Joe trying to be a comedian. I want to see what I like. Fat Joe. I'm biased when it comes to Fat Joe because I think he's a great storyteller. I love his energy. And him working with Chappelle, I'm hoping he's working with Chappelle. Where Chappelle's trying to school him.
Yep.
See, I feel like T.I. just is like, oh, I want to do
bucket
something.
List.
Yeah.
Bucket list. I'm funny, put me on. And I get it. And initially, I was really in my feelings about him trading his celebrity to level up in that field. But in retrospect, I can't be mad at it because if you got the tools to make that happen, so be it.
I guess so, yeah.
But I still have issues. Like there are certain liberties that I do not agree with, like when he holding open mics hostage, right? Because everybody.
Oh,
was
I
like,
did see that.
That's not cool, man.
Yeah.
That's not cool, especially in the metropolitans, because open mics here. So I'll give you open mics here are much like open mics for music. It's mainly most of the audience are performers. There are less audience members and mostly performers. Mainly most of the performers. Same thing with comedy open mics. There's usually more comedians in the building than actual audience members.
Right.
And you're really there just to get shit amplified so you can kind of hear it and really just tune it, right? If you're smart, you're recording your shit to go back and learn your timing. But for me, I don't use it as much. I like to be in an actual setting, in an actual show to do new shit. Like, I don't really do the open mic shit. Because I don't get a true read, I feel. You know what I mean?
Comedians are taking notes.
Right.
Yeah.
And comedians, even if you're funny, and the comedians thought you was funny, they're not laughing.
Right.
They're taking notes. They're too much shit going on.
It's kind of like
they know you did well. They go, that was a good set, but like, they're not really invested. And no shade. It's just they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Right. But for I'm by myself in this. For the most part, comedians respect and understand the importance of the open mic. So when you have these people who need this, right? Because this is their gym. Open mic is our gym. It's where we get to shoot and practice and figure this shit out, right? But there's a million of us. And the club is only open for so long. So be about your time. Get on, get off. You over here hold motherfuckers hostage. And like us here in Rhode Island, if we start at 8, we're done at 11:30.
Yeah.
Right? There, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
just for you to figure your life
them
out.
big metropolitan spots because there's a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
A lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
So like, motherfucker, we're gonna be here. We're already vested in being here at 2 o'clock anyway. You want to kill this shit for a fucking half hour? Like, how fucking dare you? And to me, like, it's the disrespect and minimizing and not seeing it as a craft, right? Because nobody disrespects rap in that respect because rap's tied to all this bravado and tough guy shit, and there's repercussions that come with that. For the average comedian, comedians don't, by and large, we don't fight. That's why we're comedians. And folks know that, and they take advantage of that shit. And that sucker shit. You know, that's how I see it. So, like, you did that, and, like, dude, it wasn't your night. Fuck it. Let's just pack it up. We all lose. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody, even them the Kevin Harts, the Dave Chappelles, they don't always murder. They do not. Remember, Chappelle bombed in Hartford, Connecticut. They almost fucking killed him. Right? Like, the fuck, it's okay to bomb, especially at the level you're at. And more importantly, maybe it's just a hit and a half that this shit ain't for you, bro. Maybe you should just sell out concerts, and that's cool. You're great, and it makes me feel like I'm conflicted because I fuck with T.I. as a rapper.
Yeah.
I always have. But now, you're being a bully. You're being a bully, and you're not respecting craftsmanship and like.
It's very
respect
arrogant.
the crafts. I don't care what your craft. I don't give a fuck if you make baskets. It's just a fucking craft.
I can't make a basket.
I can't make and that's the thing. That's the thing about crafts.
Right.
Everybody minimizes crafts because, and I tell people all the time, stop minimizing crafts because you don't realize how hard that shit is until you see somebody that can't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how hard comedy is until you see a motherfucker that can't do it.
Struggling.
You don't know how hard DJ is until you hear a whack DJ. You're like, wow. All you do is play records. By all means, my friend, go ahead, try it, play it.
Yeah.
Until you see somebody wanting to fight you because you're not good at DJing.
Yeah, bad DJ will ruin a night, boy.
Yo, DJs can really fuck your night up.
Honestly, a bad DJ is more memorable than a good DJ, which is sad.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Because you remember how mad you are.
The negative sticks in your head a lot.
Yeah.
Like, there's one DJ who...
You know why? Because you really didn't... Because a good DJ, a good craftsman, how about that? A good craftsman makes the craft look easy.
Yeah. It makes you feel like, oh, I
can do it.
That.
It makes you think I can do it.
Yeah.
And man, especially comedy. You see somebody go up there and be fun. Oh, I can do that shit.
Yeah.
And I've had so many motherfuckers coming to me. Oh yeah, I saw you up there. I can do that. No, you can't.
Nah. Which is so arrogant because like,
it's so arrogant.
It's completely arrogant.
So arrogant. It's so arrogant.
Do it.
Then do it, motherfucker. Do it.
Matter of fact, make me laugh right now.
Right. And only one person. Shout out to my man Boozy. Boozy's the only person who came, because he came like that. Boozy came with just comedy, he could do this shit, and did it and was like, I apologize.
No.
I
Good.
I humbly apologize.
Good.
Yeah, he was humbled. He was humbled.
Yeah.
And he fell on his sword. He was hat in hand. He was, you know what? And so shout out to Boozy. I always say that, like, shout out to him because that's real shit. Like, to be able to go, okay.
I was wrong.
I was very wrong.
I'm terrified of that. That right there, that scares me.
But that's why I do it to open mic, because and so my advice to you is, and to anybody that I share this advice with, if I give you more than word, that's what's up, this is the advice I share, because usually that's what it is. They're afraid of bombing. Go somewhere.
You don't know anybody.
Exactly.
You don't care.
Exactly. You'll forget them as quickly as they forgot you.
See, I don't think I'm afraid of bomb. I mean, obviously I don't want to bomb, but I also don't want the pity laughs. I think that's what I'm more worried.
What you want is you want some sort of perfection to go your first time.
No, yeah, it's not.
You just got to go. You just got to go, and however it falls, it falls. You literally have to jump out the window.
It's kind of like the podcast.
Yeah, you have.
Well, the podcast
you're not gonna know what's sticking until you do it.
Yeah,
seriously.
The podcast is a little easier because it's we're in a safe space, and there is that fear of, even now I still get nervous about putting something out or telling somebody that we're on the radio.
That
and the thing about a podcast is too, you can edit. You
True.
can, right? You can record it.
You could
before you put it out.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to go live.
You can
record
tailor it to it's its best presentation that it can be.
This is.
Unfortunately, we don't.
Right. This is your balls and it's literally your balls and your word.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
we have the option, huh? That's crazy.
No.
Right. And like on days it's good.
It's good.
But on days it's bad. It's bad. Like Slades. I tell people all the time, Slades. I am 0 for 3 at Slades. 0 for 3. I mean bad.
Hey, it makes you better.
Right, but I learned it's not my room. Right, it's just not my room. I chalked it up to not be in my room, then not be in my audience. Like one time, one of the bombs, I was like, all right, let me get my last joke, and that was the only time they ever applauded.
Oh, was your son in the crowd? I feel like your son would be like, fine.
I think he might have sent the word. Like he might have sent out a mass email or something. You know what I mean?
He's flashing the red light.
Yeah. Hey, yo, he thinks he's funny. Like, check him. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But yeah, I learned it was I just chalked it up to not be in my room the last time I was there, because it's Wednesday nights. Mm-hmm. And Jonathan Gates, shout out to Jonathan Gates, it's his room. And he would pack it. It would amaze me. And Slade's been to Slade, yeah? Slade's is in Boston. It's a soul food restaurant.
Okay.
But he does comedy every Wednesday. And he sells a motherfucker out every Wednesday. It was amazing to me. Like, how the fuck do you sell out anything on a Wednesday?
Right.
Who does things on a Wednesday?
Right.
But neither here nor there. Sells it out, and I by this point, I want to be in Slade's. I know if I get to Slade's, it'll level up for me. Mm-hmm. And I get the pleasure of doing a show with Jonathan Gates at the Comedy Connection, and I kill it. And he's like, yo, you need to come to Slade's. I'm like, I'm in. And like I said, I'm 0 for 3. So now, first time, the first 2 times, I feel like I had my part to play, but I felt like there was other circumstances that had their role to play too, right?
Okay.
And, but the third time, I chalked it up to this is not being my room because I do Wednesday night at Slade's. I do the very next day, Thursday night at Mohegan Sun. And then that Friday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Slade's, Mohegan Sun, Comedy Connection. And I do 15 minutes of Slade's. It was the longest 15 minutes ever. 10 minutes at Mohegan Sun and 12 minutes at Comedy Connection. So I basically tell the same set.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same set with a story. So my stories, remember I talked about the little jokes along the way.
Yeah. The breadcrumbs.
I can omit them
As
due to time constraints.
Got it. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I'm basically telling the same set. And I tell that set at Slade's, Mohegan, and Comedy Connection. And I die a horrible death at Slade's, and I murder Mohegan, and I murder Comedy Connection.
Yeah.
It's just not
It's
my
not
room.
for you.
It's just not my. Yep, it's just not my room. And it has a lot to do with, by design, because I told myself when I made the commitment to jump into this comedy thing, I wasn't going to be the Def Jam comic. I wasn't going to be, black people do it like this, and white people do it like this,
Okay.
or, you know what I mean, or look at your shirt, your glasses, or look at your dreads. I'm not going to be any of those stereotypical comics. I know I want my stuff to be more cerebral, right? I don't want to meet you halfway. Either you get my shit or you don't get my shit. I'll find my crowd, right? I'll find them. You know what I mean? But I don't want to read like every other comic that comes on here, and I see it a lot where the mold, like almost like young black comics feel like they have to be that Def Jam comic.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And I couldn't understand why until I was listening to Godfrey. Godfrey does a podcast, and him and Ali Sadiq are the two comedians. Excuse me. And they took, and think about it. This generation of young comics, all they had to grow up on was Def Jam. So it is their point, and Comic View. So it is their point of reference.
Gotcha.
So how do you shake them from that, right? So once I learned that, I was just like, all right, I'm going to continue to do me. And now what I'm trying to fall into now, and not even so much as a caricature, but just is where I need my comedy to go, is the cantankerous, the crotchety old man. That's
a
where
fun
my
place to
comedy's-
be.
Right, and that's where my comedy's kind of going now.
Yeah.
Right, me complaining about a bunch of shit. And it's working. So
Yeah, if it works,
that's
it
where I'm
works.
at, right.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. And it's still, because it's still genuine to me. It still allows me to do me and talk first person experiences and stories, and that's kind of my wheelhouse of stories. I can tell a story. You know what I mean? And I could tell a story, but it's my stories are usually long. So I've learned how to condense my stories and put those breadcrumbs in there and shit. But all of it, it's been past 10 years have been a interesting, fun ride, and all due to me being able to just talk some shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So with the Hall of Fame, how often are you looking to give awards to people?
I want to make it yearly.
Okay.
Right? I want to make it yearly. I want to make it. I definitely want to make sure that all elements are celebrated.
Right, because it's like 4 elements, right?
Absolutely, DJing, graffiti, breakdancing, MCing, because
graffiti.
rap has kidnapped hip hop.
Yeah.
Kids kidnapped the term, and everybody makes it one and the same, and it's not. You know what I mean? Because early on, what the element that gained national notoriety and made the whole country look a little further into this was breakdancing. Breakdancing is what hit mainstream America when it was highlighted on Good Morning America and Today's Show. And
Oh, wow.
That was the novelty that got us in to mainstream America, made it go, what are they doing over
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That looks cool.
Right. And it's the least celebrated now.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and I love it the most because it's the one thing you can't clout chase.
No. Either
That
you spin on your head or you can't.
That and graffiti. You can't clout chase You can't clout chase being a graffiti artist. You can't clout chase being a breakdancer. You're either good at that shit
or you're not.
Or you're not. And if you're not, you are not part of the fraternity, sorority.
You're just gonna look crazy out there.
Right. You're just in the wind. You're right. You're just certifiable. Right.
What are you doing?
Right. You just look like you collect federal money. Right. Exactly. So like, and we don't celebrate them enough because they're not our cash cows. Right. So I want to make sure those guys are celebrated because there are vanguards of the graph era here that are native to here, and it's a different scene because remember we don't have a subway.
I always wonder, like, how they get up there on the highway, like signs and the.
That's
like,
determination.
But that's the innovation that came with not having a subway.
Yeah.
Because subways, that was the thing. You know, when you applied to the New York, it applies to New York. You wanted to go all city. You wanted your piece to be seen through all the boroughs.
Okay.
So to go all city is to go up on a line that goes through all the boroughs, so everybody sees your shit. We didn't have that. So how do you get up and become all city in a city that doesn't have transport like that? And they would find these creative ways, and a lot of times that's how you found your favorites. That's how you found your favorites because wow, how they get up there and how they get such a beautiful piece up there.
Like no one stopped them.
Right.
How long did they take to do that?
You knew that's not something that they could do in 10 minutes.
Right.
You knew that took hours or days, right? Like in sittings, right? So how did they do that? And they're the ones that have to hide behind anonymity. They really can't be these faces. They have to. It's necessary. They have to cloak themselves in anonymity in order to be able to do this.
To do that,
and they can only be celebrated and recognized amongst their peers.
Yeah.
Right. So now that it's busted wide open, let's give these cats some recognition. Let's give these breakdancers some recognition. You know what I mean? I remember one of the biggest battles ever was at the Temple of Music at Rogers Park. And it was between the two major crews at the time, TMC and Return to Burn. And TMC and Return to Burn are both factions of original DJ breakdance crews in New York. Wow. So Rocksteady Crew, right? The infamous Rocksteady Crew was part of Zulu Nation and Dynamic Rockers. So RTB was the Rhode Island affiliate to Dynamic.
Oh, wow.
And TMC was Rocksteady's Rhode Island affiliate.
Oh, wow.
And RTB was actually, RT stood for Return to Burn, which wasn't their original name. It was Dynamic Rockers. They was just the Rhode Island affiliate. So they were Dynamic Rockers, and they went up against TMC, Top Master Crew. And the loser of the battle, because they all, you wore your shirt, your uniform. The loser of the battle had to burn their shirts. So Dynamic lost the battle and rebranded as Return to Burn. Right. So you know what I mean? So like
look at this history.
And I was a kid in this, right? These guys are older than me. I'm 12, 13. But I'm hanging in these places because I got older cousins. So it's one of them situations, take them with you.
Right.
But they knew they could take me with them because all I wanted to do was be a part of it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother nobody. They said sit in the corner, I'll sit in the corner.
Yeah.
If I just wanted to be part of the experience. So it lent me to a lot of the building blocks. I was there for a lot of important pieces. The first ever Rhode Island hip hop group to be immortalized on vinyl. Magical Four, DJ Buck, Al Shell, Xavier, Mr. G, right? They are and to be on record, to be immortalized on record at that time,
was huge.
Huge, right?
There was no YouTube and all that back then.
Right. So these guys are gods to me. They're like gods. And to be in their writing sessions, and I wasn't adding any input. I was just there,
Right.
just soaking it in. And this is Bucket allowing a 14-year-old kid into his house because he knew I was a sponge, and he saw. I don't know what he saw in me, but he was. And I thank him all the time. Thank you, Bucket, for allowing me that. But seeing the first ever drum machine used, the Dr. Rhythm, and then the Roland 606, and then the 808, and the XP12, and I was able to see all of these things, the progression of it. So it saved my life. It essentially saved my life because I lost my mother at 11, right? And I grabbed the mic at 12. Lost my mother at August 28th, 1982. So I was 11. And my mother took her own life.
Oh, wow.
Right? So these next couple of months after we bury her, I'm numb. I don't know. It's a bunch of emotions. And I'm not a troubled kid, but I'm just not centered.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. And this is black family dealing with trauma.
Which means you don't talk about it.
We're not talking about it.
Yeah.
We're not speaking therapy.
Yeah.
No, no,
that's not a thing.
Yeah, no.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody's, oh, he's so strong. He didn't even cry. No, I'm not strong. I'm fucking numb.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with any of this. And
Yeesh.
I thank God for the Boys and Girls Club, right? Because it was a safe haven. It was a safe space. And I learned later on in life that the community that was built thanks to Roosevelt Benton, rest in peace, and Beatrice Gomes, who were the director and assistant director, and the community that they built, they really looked out for me because it was a tragic situation, and the community knew. They didn't tell me that. I learned later on, but like the older guys and stuff, they really took me under their wing and looked out for me, and it really translated and helped me grow. But I say all that to say, prior to me grabbing that mic in February, so from August to February, I don't know what to do with myself. And then next thing I know, I grab this mic and I get this response. 400 people in the place. I'm loud. I can barely hear what I'm saying. But I spit my little bars and they love it. They absolutely love it. And from that point on, that was my therapy. That was my safe space. That was my coping mechanism. That was how I survived.
Wow.
That was how I got through that. And I allowed that to be how I got through many a tragedy, many a pitfall, many a dark space. I always went back into the culture and immersed myself in the culture. Always have. And I always will. I always will. Anytime like now speaking later on, when I lost my father. And I lost my father and my son's mother 2 weeks apart from each other.
Oh my goodness.
And yep, I took my time to mourn, but when it came time to get back up, I jumped right back in it because it's my safe place. It's where I feel whole. It's where I'm the master of the universe, right? I can create and destroy anything in this medium. It's mine to do. And I got a lot of shit up here, and I have to put some sort of physical manifestation of it. It can't live up here.
Yeah, it's gotta be tangible at some point.
Yeah. If I can't make something tangible, then I just lose it in my subconscious. I gotta create it. I gotta
do something with it.
Yeah, and COVID did a lot for that. So like, not only did I, tighten up my comedy, started writing some more verses, started doing a merch brand, started doing a merch brand for my wife, and like just trying to create and just trying to just make something from here and just do more. And I think a lot of it had to also do with my grandmother. My grandmother helped raise me after my mother died. Right. She got dementia. She lived to be 98.
Oh wow.
But the last few years was dementia, and I just felt like I didn't want my brain. I want my brain to keep moving, keep exercising my brain, because I don't want it to lag end up that. And not to say that's how the fuck it happens,
Right.
but that's just my take on it.
Yep.
So it's almost fair too of not having something to think about. So I just keep going. And what can I create next?
It's like going to the gym, but for your mind.
Right, exactly. So I'm constantly creating an event with a theme, or the next merch, the next T-shirt, or you know, just constantly in on shit. You know what I mean? And it's my day to day. It's definitely what my it's part of my respiratory system. That's for sure. It definitely keeps me breathing.
Very cool.
So
It's very dope.
Man.
I'm
We learned so much, and there's still so much we didn't even touch on.
I know we haven't touched anything, and we're like rolling.
I can always come back. Like
Yes.
Yes, you
That's
must.
the thing. I can. Like my wife says, I have never met a Mike I did not like. I enjoy talking. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy talking.
And you're quite interesting. Like this is
Thank you.
very, very, very interesting.
Thank you.
This is
thank
very
you,
great.
thank you. That is, I sincerely appreciate that because I am always wondering, am I interested? like I think like cause sometimes I feel like I don't know, like our folks.
Are they just being nice?
I just being cordial,
I think that
right?
all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, such and such interviewed you, and I feel obligated. I like,
Yeah.
you know
Oh,
what I mean?
you did good. Yeah, I like that.
right.
And then
no.
the voice gets right.
It really is.
But, right.
Literally, that's me. Literally, every time I DJ, they're like, "Oh yeah, I liked your set." Like, oh, did you? I didn't like it.
But I will say, folks like y'all, though, I immediately respect in any flowers of validation thrown my way. I immediately accept and appreciate because there's certain people. Like everybody's compliment. You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to say like I don't appreciate the compliment from every person. Because if it's genuine, it's genuine, right?
Yeah.
But
Also,
sometimes it's a messenger. Sometimes it's just the person that's delivering. It's just like I don't know.
It's like a person who can't cook tells me my meal tasted mad good.
Yeah, it's like.
But it's like you only eat cereal and hot dogs.
Jen,
right, so it's like,
right on the head, Jen. Right on the head, Jen.
You know.
This Alfredo's really kicking like that.
Right.
Is it?
Right. Yeah, your aioli. What you know about aioli? Yeah, stop it. Right. What's remoulade? What's
I
remoulade?
completely understand what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? But then there's certain people that you know you
Like Gordon Ramsay says your food's good. You're
right.
like, okay.
And you feel like you start talking, you go, okay, I can talk to this person like this. All right, cool. All right, yeah, all right.
They get it.
They get it. Yeah, right. And so in talking with those people and getting validation and hearing things like you're interested in, yeah, no, that's that recharging the battery pack. It's like, all right, I'm on the right path.
I'm keep going.
I'm doing. It's just
Yeah.
okay. I can do this, right? I can do this. You know what I mean?
And you should do this.
Yeah.
And you are doing a good job.
Yeah. More importantly, I should do this, right? Like, and being here with you guys, that's one of those moments. Like, okay, yep, I can walk out here going, yep, I can do this.
Yeah.
Because you motherfuckers get me, and you get me, more importantly, you get me the way I want you to get me.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's different when you think a motherfucker gets you, and you're like.
I didn't really get it. They didn't get it.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Yup, you're just following. You're just okay. I'm trending.
It's like
trending.
he hears it tomorrow, and then we're all like, yeah. So we were with what was the name again?
Right. Because there's a guy who I did an all-day event at the CV Club. It was daytime. And DJs during the day, outside party, and then inside party with extra DJs, whatever. But there was a dude that was there the whole time with us, and he called me DJ Franchise.
Ooh.
And don't get me wrong. Listen, if I could be somebody,
That'd be franchise.
No, of course.
be worse
but
people I
like,
could be.
Yeah.
But
do you have like nothing?
but
like,
damn, bro,
common?
like wow, like
Did you listen at all? Did you know anything?
Did you ask anyone?
and like to the point where the third time he asked me, he was angry. Like he grabbed my wrist. He was like, "Yo, for real, man, you're DJ Franchise."
No.
Like I was gonna look over my shoulder, and go, "All right,
All right.
all
You
right,
got
the
me.
jig is up.
You got
Look,
me. You got me.
Right. I'm like, God, I'm
No.
so not DJ Franchise. He goes, you're on the radio, right? I said, yeah, but Franchise isn't by himself. Like, there's 3 other people on the radio with him. So
that's great.
DJ Franchise. I've been called every variation of Lad. Lance, Larry. I don't know.
I was calling you Mad Lad for a little bit.
Mad Lad. I get that though. I get Mad Lad, Glad Lad.
It also kind of fit because when I last saw you,
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
Okay.
I was of sorts. I was, I was in my feelings at the time.
No, it wasn't that.
No.
You were
justifiably
you were in debate
defending
mode. You were in debate
something.
mode.
Yeah, I was in debate mode.
You were in
There
debate
you go.
mode.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what. Yeah, you know what's funny today too, and I was telling my wife the conversation we had when you was like, "Yeah, you should be a politician."
Oh, I think about that all the time.
My wife found that to be the funniest thing she's heard in a while. She laughed and laughed. She found that so funny. I was like, "It ain't that fucking funny."
Right. Why you laugh that hard for?
Right. But
This ain't a set.
It's actually hysterical. It is because I don't know shit about politics. I think I told you I did. I don't know shit about politics, not at all. I know what I know, and that's all that I know.
I believe you said you're better as a soldier.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. You're better.
I'm better as a soldier because I see the bullshit for what it is, and I can recognize propaganda when I see it. But but the inner working because I think what you also had said to me was you would fit because you're not a politician. But the fact of the matter is, any person who's not a politician who jumps into politics becomes a politician. You have no choice.
Yeah.
If you are going
to play the game,
you have to be a
You have to
politician.
play the game.
And I don't want to be a politician. I like people too much.
Yeah.
I dislike people too, but by and large, I like people too much to be a politician. And to be a politician, you
gotta be able to look somebody in the face, and tell them something.
And tell them something you are not gonna honor.
Yeah.
And nope, no thanks. No thanks.
That's true. I always go back to the speed bump meeting, and this dude told everybody it was 2 streets, and people from both streets met, said they wanted to have a speed bumps, and they brought the engineers, and the engineers were like, listen, we did these whatever, we looked it up, we watched how many cars went down the street, and this was before COVID, we did it in February of 2020. That street doesn't have enough traffic to get speed bumps. And then the politician that was there, he's like, we're gonna get speed bumps on both streets. And this engineer was so frustrated that afterwards, when it was all over and I had to drive around the block and I saw him taking pictures or something, and I stopped and I apologized for the neighborhood. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Right,
you have to go through it. He's like, these politicians, they make all these promises because they want to get votes, but he can't make the decision. We've already done the research. The street doesn't. So they ended up putting temporary speed bumps on both streets.
Yeah.
They took them down.
That's that. Exactly. And it's those things like that. And it's like, to be a politician is to be a babysitter.
Yeah.
And that's not you.
I like watching my kids. That's it. I will take care of my kids. You take care of your kids, and that's it. But but there's also a refreshing view. I mean, you almost want somebody that's not a politician because they don't have any ties. They don't have any. I know they become a politician. Essentially, it's what you want in every politician is not to be a politician.
Right.
But we also view our politicians through a lens as well. Because now, if I got to be a politician, because I know we also both spoke about this. Now I have to have a certain persona.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
This representative, she
Right.
twerked on the beach, and it was the worst thing ever.
Right, unholy. Right.
She what?
She twerked on the beach.
She twerked, and now
and
now she's a shit politician. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
You don't know. I didn't even.
Why?
know
You didn't even ask about it. You didn't even ask about her views.
Yeah.
She was already in office. They're like, you're not gonna get elected. She's like, I'm
already here.
I'm in office. She should have said why she was twerking. I'm already in.
I'm already
bitches.
here.
Right.
Here.
So.
You know what I mean? But and that's the thing. We hear people, she twerked, and they immediately dismissed her.
Yeah.
She could be the one.
And the reason why I was saying that she said that at the end, vote for Mac, is because that was a flex. I don't just shake my ass.
Right.
I do other things, and they just went over everyone's head.
All you took was that, and more importantly, that's the other thing. We politicians can't be people.
Yeah.
They have to be politicians.
Yes.
All
the time.
Yes.
Donald Trump always wears a suit. You ain't got. My boyfriend says all the time. He's like, he ain't got no jogging suits. He had COVID. He still had a suit on. He couldn't wear nothing comfortable.
To me, and again, we haven't had the conversation, so I don't know her views like that. But just on its surface, let's just take that twerking, right? To me, she identifies more. She's more loose, right? She'd be willing to meet loose and flexible, and be willing to listen and you understand what I'm saying?
Hear somebody out.
Yeah, rather than being so rigid and trying to
conforming. Yeah.
Conforming, right.
Because when I first saw it,
I didn't see it as a pander.
No, I saw it and I got excited. I was like, first of all, there's a black woman in the Rhode Island State Senate, and I didn't know.
Let's talk about it.
And then I looked. So then I'm like, all right, let me look her up. While people are just like burning flags or whatever they're doing, I'm like, let me look her up. Turns out I live in her. I'm a constituent of hers. I'm like, okay. So now let me learn more. And the more I'm learning and watching her, I'm like, I may or may not agree with what she does. I don't know, but the fact that she's a real person and she's willing to stand up for being a real person, I gotta respect that.
Gotta respect that.
Why is that a problem?
Right. That's our own fault for putting those restraints on politics and not making them more than what they should be. Like they're fucking human.
Like the Queen died today, and I'm like,
yes.
She was 96.
Yeah, she was going to do that at some point.
Right. What, gasping?
As
that's a gasp?
insensitive as insensitive that is.
Right. And like, and again, like, and not for nothing, like, why the fuck? Why should that affect our quality of life here?
Right.
And no disrespect to the Queen, like whatever. Right. And I just mean that in a vacuum because honestly, I could really give a shit about the monarchy,
right?
And the colonialism and all that bullshit that goes with it. So, no love
like
lost,
as Americans and as black people,
right?
That's two strikes for why.
2 strikes why I could really give a fuck. You know what I mean? And you got motherfuckers crying and doing candlelight vigils.
I love this.
They went to Buckingham Palace and I'm looking at TV like, then what?
I love this. I mean, for them, obviously, it was a bigger thing.
And
but for us
and
here,
again, and maybe this is my ignorance on the thing, but I always talk about how much she did. The fuck did she do? No Parliament do all this shit? I mean, every time I see her, she just walks and waves.
She did stuff.
She put policies into place and shit?
No, I don't know if she did that, but I caught a small clip today of something. They were saying she was the first, I don't know what, first woman or first monarch who was actually in the military.
Okay.
You know, and I said that. I was like,
I'll
okay.
give a strike for that word. Because I even do military, so
yeah, she was an active member of the military. I said, all right, that's what's up.
Okay, yeah.
And she took over when her dad died. So she took over when she was only 25. So she's been queen for like 70 years.
Right. She's had the longest reign in the history of that throne.
And
I think of all reigns period. I think
so.
Yeah, I think nobody's reigned longer.
So my whole problem with it has always been, so when she started, Britain had African colonies in, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
Like, your family literally started slavery. Like, what are we talking about right now?
Right. And I'm supposed to celebrate? I'm sorry? I'll pull a little lookout for the nigga, but like, that's...
We got some crown royal.
Yeah, for the homie, but you know, outside of that,
I mean, it sounds incredibly insensitive. But I think it's just like, oh, you know, because she's been there for so long. But you're right. There are people.
So is colonialism, bro. Like,
listen, I'm here with you.
The people that started America left her family.
Right, and that's the other thing too. Like, you shit on your family too. You shit on your family, like
you disowned your whole grandson. We ain't gonna go there.
Right. Because you know, folk, we ain't disowning shit. We ain't disowning nobody. That's your baby. Listen,
come home.
Try to come home and not try to claim that baby. Go ahead. And let somebody in your family know that you ain't claiming that baby.
You even said in the beginning, your dad got upset with you.
Yeah.
Take care of your baby.
Fuck yeah. I didn't. That's what he said to me. I didn't leave you. You ain't leaving him.
Yeah.
No, the fuck you ain't. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
Good dad.
That was great dad. Yeah. Great dad. And I say that knowing that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of shit, but he was a great dad. He was, and I lived in my grandmother's house, but I was not estranged from my dad. He just knew I needed a matriarch.
Yeah.
Right. He knew I needed that maternal. Because I was still young, so I needed that maternal. But I didn't want for anything. He worked hard for everything. Everything he provided for me and my sister, he worked fucking hard at. He was a longshoreman and one hell of a reefer dealer. And he was excellent at both. And the quality of life that he provided for me and my sister, I'll always be thankful for. Always be thankful. And I grew up with a lot of kids who didn't have their father. So, and they reminded me of that shit. So I never took my father for granted. Even when I felt like he was being unfair or whatever, I never took him for granted because my friends would always remind me, well, fuck you, you got a father. You be like,
True.
they would let me know. And
True.
so it would always, you know, it would keep me centered in that respect. You know what I mean? So definitely shout out to him. I miss him, and he was interested. I honestly, like, that's somebody I wish could have done podcast or been interviewed, because I'm not interested. By comparison,
yeah,
God no, he's interesting. I want to make a movie out of his life.
Oh wow!
Because of
that should be Hot in Our Eyes' next movie.
I really could, because of the things that he's done in his life, and like just one thing, he has gone cross country 3 times on a motorcycle.
Wow.
He's seen 40 of the 48 continental states.
Wow. That's dope. Wow. What an accomplishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even want to go across in a plane.
And once by himself.
I don't want to drive to Boston.
Wow.
Twice the other 2 times he's done it with
other people.
Other people. But one time, the first time he did it by himself.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The things you see. I can
right.
imagine.
And that was something he always taught us. Like, he always stressed travel, and he always made sure we traveled, and we made sure we went places, because his thing was travel is an education you can't get in the classroom.
Oh, very true.
And it helped me learn how to deal with people, right? How to not only that, to know that as black people, as marginalized people, we have a hard time getting outside our block.
Yeah.
Right? And he always stressed us to travel and to learn that there's more to life than just our block. And in doing so, I learned at a time, because I came of age during the crack era. So everybody's making choices. And that was a choice I never had to make because of my father. Because he provided us with a quality of life where we did, there's certain things on my checklist that I could say I did at an age where all these guys was on the block making all this money that they can't say they did. Right? This guy's making $1,000 a day, but I went whitewater rafting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True,
yeah. And learned how to appreciate that shit, and learned how to make that my gold chain, or my one thing that you ain't got. Make that my flex. You know what I mean? I was lucky enough to grow up with my father's brother, who was a professional baseball player, and is Davy Lopes Rec. That is my uncle. And
what?
Yeah, that's my father's brother. And he is
wow.
Yeah.
Rhode Island royalty.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will always say that, because
that was good there.
he is Rhode Island royalty. Absolutely. Salute, Unc. Love you, man. But dope. Yeah, he's a world champion. He won the World Series in 1980.
Oh wow.
And he was the captain of that team when they won it. So not only was he not just a piece of that, but he was an integral piece. So he always taught us. What I always took from him was, you can be from Rhode Island and be great. You know what I mean? He also taught me how to navigate the entertainment scene at a young age, because 80s at that time, he won the World Series, the Lakers had won, so Magic, Kareem, my uncle in LA, shit, at that time was the shit. They was among the A-listers.
Yeah.
The A-listers. So
wow.
I'm having lunch with Ted Knight from the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Oh, wow.
And, I'm meeting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm meeting these people, but I'm getting that supermarket speech. Look, we going here.
Don't talk.
Right. But
don't
and it wasn't even so much don't talk. It was, he taught me how to not fanboy out.
Oh, okay.
He taught me how to treat these. Just be regular.
Yeah.
Treat them regular.
Yeah.
Not everybody always wants to talk shop. Just want to talk some, like, you know what I mean? And I learned how to navigate those at a young age. And so when it came time for me to be in my arena with the rappers and on stage in the green rooms and shit like that, I never had any problems, because I knew how to treat them. I knew how to treat the situation. I knew how to talk to them. I knew how to read the room, and definitely thankful for it. So all those experiences got me into a lot of interesting places, which led to great stories and memories that have made me some sort of interesting.
That's
right?
dope.
So yeah, yep. So I'm thankful for every person that comes in my life that is memorable, and because it helps shape me who I am. You know what I mean? And I do that. I've been doing that a lot now too, because there's a lot of reflection going on at 50, right? So I try to give the flowers when I can give them, and I see people and I go, and I've been bringing up shit from my childhood and explain to people how important those times were. I just saw a brother I ain't seen him like over 15 years and thanked him for something he helped me with 25 years ago.
Oh, wow.
That I never had a chance to say thank you for. And it was a life-changing moment for me. And he and I weren't super close, but we were super close in this particular moment. He saw something in me to guide me and help me through a rough patch, a dark patch in my time. And I wanted him to know that. Like, you know what I mean? And I've been trying to be more cognizant of that, and in those moments when I can say that, tell people that, because you don't know how it's going to affect them. You know what I mean? It might be just a recharge they need to know that they value.
Yeah.
Validate. I love validation, but I like giving it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want you to know you have value too, because we don't do that enough. We do enough. We spend more energy tearing down. So like, so fuck, when you're dope, let's talk about it, man. Let's shit. I like that I know dope people.
Yes.
Right? I like knowing that, you know, when they say Rhode Island's a state where everybody's got a guy. I like that shit. I like knowing I got a guy. And I like that my guy's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very
Or old girl that I can call on, she's dope. You ain't gonna find, you'd be hard pressed to find a motherfucker better. You know what I mean? So to know that I know so many pockets of dope people from so many different avenues, right? Not just the entertainment, but culinary, non-profit, community leaders. Like, to know all these people that are passionate about all these different pockets, it improves my quality of life. You know what I mean? I know things that I'm not good at. If I got to reach out to, I know I'm not worried about the quality that I'm going to get from them. I'm going to get good shit, because I've seen their work. I see their dedication to whatever it is that they're moving in. And if I need them for that, I know I'm going to be fine. Dope. You know, so I'm thankful for every one of y'all who have helped shape me and help my quality of life, not just as what I do, but when I'm there as an audience member as well. When I'm on the outside looking in, I like that I can go other places and look at other people do what y'all do, and I can go, oh, Jen's better than that. You know what I mean? It does. It's the pride it's the constant pride that's instilled in me in Providence, in Rhode Island. It's why I love Providence, why I love Rhode Island. It's why I'll never leave. You know
it's a great place.
It is. It's and it's a shitty place, right? Let's be clear. But I am proud to be from Rhode Island. I am proud to be from Providence. I am proud to be from Southside all day.
Nice.
All day.
So where can people find you?
Bad Lad the Comic on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter if you want. I don't use it, but it's active, I guess, if you want. I don't use it. I really don't use social media as much as I should. Right? As much as I should, being the platform I'm on. Yeah. And I'm trying to get better at it, but it's just,
it takes so much time and work and energy.
It's exhausting. It's so exhausting. It is. And I have a short attention span, so I'm easily distracted. So in order to post shit, I got to scroll past shit and then get down that rabbit hole. So I'm trying to get better at it. Yeah. And I try to only post like shit that I'm doing, but I'm not even good at that. I'm not. Folks are like, but you need a manager. But I'm not good enough to have a manager. I'm not good enough in my career right now where I need a manager. I just need Google Calendar. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Bad Lad the Comic on everything. You can catch me at 148 on Saturdays. You can catch me Monday and Tuesday mornings with Franchise. Yep. Consider if I don't have work. Zoom Unities used to be Friday nights, but we're about to rebrand and reschedule that. Looking like it might be on Saturday or Sunday. definitely one of those 2 days. You can catch me tomorrow at Whites of Westport in Fall River, opening for Brooklyn Mike with a host of other good comics.
So if you're hearing that, it's actually today because we could release on Friday.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yep. So yep.
Friday
Today.
the 9th.
Tonight. Where else can you catch me? Local 1329 International Longshoremen's Association. Get a call. Get a check.
Hey.
But yeah, basically you can catch me in the hood, man. I'm never hard to find. I don't do much.
Cool. Should we?
If I'm not booked, I don't do much. I'm usually home.
Should we let the cat out the bag? Today's September 8th. It's a month away.
Why not? Let's do it.
Can we
why
do
not?
It? Can we let it out the bag?
Yeah.
All right. We haven't told anyone we're
haven't-
doing
Oh,
this.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Even myself, I'm still sketchy. I'm like,
No, we got to do it. I'm
let's do it.
We're doing
Let's
it.
do it.
Because I know
Sorry.
so like,
Sorry,
we doing,
Bim.
let's get it.
We're doing
Sorry,
it.
this is Deuce Bim too. Sorry, Jen.
Oh, well,
Take it
so
away, Jen.
we've been
Because if
saying
you don't, I'm going to say something. 'Cause I'm souped about this.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
We've been saying for a while we want to do another live event. We did a live podcast a little over 2 years ago before COVID.
Yep.
That was the last time we did something live other than karaoke. So, guys, we're doing another live event. It's
Yeah.
going to be a comedy show.
Yeah.
Bad Lad will be one of the comedians
Yes.
in the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there'll also be a podcast component, of course, because we're going to be there. So it's going to be a unique comedy show. It's going to be very fun.
We can pick up from there, too.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interview, too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like I'm souped about this.
Yeah.
I am souped. Like I have thought about this exact same thing. This interview with performance,
Oh,
like kind of hybrid thing. So when Darren came to me and was like, "Yo, we're trying to do this," I was like,
Yeah, he basically said, "Yeah, I mean, you guys have beat me too, but yeah, I want to be involved."
yeah, right, yeah, exactly. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I don't like in this, do it first era. Like, I'm not like, it's like. Yes, it's like because it's validation that I'm not crazy.
Yes,
Right.
you're not.
Right?
Yeah,
Like somebody else sees this.
Yes,
So
this is
all
a
right,
good
yeah,
thing.
let's do it. Let's figure this out. Like I want whatever I can do to be a part of it. Like I just want to know just how this works. I want to see
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
And let's do it. So
Let's
yeah,
make it happen.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
So save the date in your calendars, October 8th. It's a month from today.
yes, exactly.
and it's actually the day before I'm doing a fundraiser, October 9th,
perfect.
for Kaya Stallworth. She has a rare bone marrow disease.
Oh, man.
And we're doing comedy for her. It's going to be a fundraiser. We're going to have raffles. We're going to have laughs. It's going to be a good time. So that weekend's going to be a real fun weekend. So, yeah.
Something to do.
Yeah. my
Like
boy.
we say, there's always
So there's
something to do
with
out here.
Rhode Island. Yeah.
And I'm bringing my boy Tyler Hittner with me to...
Yes,
Yes.
to the
Yes.
show.
I'm
And
very excited to see
if
him.
you ain't seen him, buddy. I can't
Super
explain
excited.
him. I
Yeah.
can't explain him. You just
Yes.
have to see him.
Very
And
excited.
what you see is not what you will get.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's all,
always
that's
the
best
best.
I can tell you. He's in an unassuming package. That's the best part.
So
Love it.
we'll be pushing out details on our social media platforms. On Instagram, it's PLSDELTHIS. On Twitter, the same handle. On Facebook is the Please Leave This Podcast, as well as on YouTube. I apologize in advance if the video from this week is not as good as it usually is.
Well, it's not in advance. It's the end of the show now.
Well, the end of the show, whatever. I know you've watched all of it, and to this point,
Right.
that's what I
made it this
apologize. So
Fucks with you.
thank you for watching it all,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
recognize that Bim is not here. He has a camera. You gotta deal with what I put up. So hopefully it's something tangible that you guys can digest. But anyways, very excited for our show, October
I'm
8th.
super excited.
Saturday, we'll be releasing obviously the details.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And we'll give you a chance to purchase tickets, maybe even raffle off a ticket or two. Nice little date night.
Yes, and eventually that website will be launched as well, so keep your eye out for that.
Indeed, yes.
I'm very
yes.
excited about that. So we got some
Jen's
things going
out
on.
here. Jen's out here. Again, we are so appreciative
Thank
to
you so
Bad
much.
Lad for joining us.
Likewise.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for every person that allows me to come and talk shit.
Yeah.
I've seen you
So
around
thank
for
you.
like millions of years, and it's the first time we actually had a non-football conversation.
Right, exactly, right, yeah. So yeah,
Shout out to the NFL starting tonight.
Yay.
Yep, so yeah,
Go Rams.
Yep, this was real cool to build with y'all, and
Yeah,
I'm
you're
definitely looking forward to next month and anytime. So
Yes.
and I live right down the street, so
That's crazy.
holla.
It's crazy.
Perfect.
We are
Perfect.
neighbors.
Yeah, right. So
Yay.
anytime you want me to come and talk some shit, and you're like, you know what, who ain't afraid to say some shit?
Come on over.
Cool.
Come on over.
That's it.
Don't fight him, though.
Please don't.
Don't
Don't fight any of us.
So listen, I told the last I did this Tommy Davidson show, I opened with this, so I'll close with this. In this new era of folks feeling like they can walk on stage and slap a comedian, I will tell you with all honesty and confidence, you slap me, I'm calling the fucking cops.
I just got assaulted.
That's it. I'm pointing you
Him.
out. Yeah, him. I'm snitching. I'm crying. I'm showing up at your parole hearing.
Oh, man.
Fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. By the time I'm done, there's going to be a Lifetime movie about it. Absolute fuck yeah, bro.
I was just
you are never getting out.
By the way, he killed it at the Tom and Eve show. You killed it.
Thank you.
It was amazing.
Thank you.
Me and Christine got there late, so we had to sit like right in the front, and I hate sitting in the front in comedy shows because I'm like, they're going to ask us questions. That's like my biggest fear, going to a comedy show.
My thing with me, if I do ask you a question, it's not going to be one where you got to engage much because I'm only doing it to transition.
Oh, okay.
It's just a
Because
transition.
we had just gone to
Don't
see
give
DL.
away your tips. Don't give those.
Yeah,
Give
no.
the gems to you.
Yeah, so like I'll just be like, I'll be like, are you married? Are you guys together? And if yes or no, it doesn't matter.
Got it.
Right. I'm not going to
'Cause I'm
expound on it.
Got it.
I'm just going to go into a joke about marriage or dating. You understand what I'm saying?
No, DL's like, what do you do for work?
Yeah.
How long have we been together? I'm like, oh God, please don't come over here. I don't even know how to describe my job. I'm getting fired anyway. So.
Right. Yeah. So, and in the times that people engage, I try to keep it minimal. And you can tell whether or not they want to do the back and forth.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to do it, like
Move away.
in and out.
Yep.
In and out. And sometimes folks just lob you a softball, and it's just
It's too easy.
swing. It's
Yeah,
too easy.
too
You
easy.
have to swing.
Yeah.
Because why not? Because I'm an attention whore, and I'd like to laugh. So
Yeah.
but
It's gonna be a great show.
yeah,
Very, very excited.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
I definitely can't wait.
Very,
Definitely
very, very
can't wait,
excited.
So yeah. I guess that's where we can end.
I think this is enough. I mean, it's almost 3 hours.
Wow, that did not feel like that at all. That was
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know that we can push this whole thing out, but we will.
If not,
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot to be on the cutting room floor.
We just put it all out or nothing.
I may just take a chunk out and then release that at some other point in time.
Okay, like a
Okay.
separate.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Yup.
like
They could
that.
be like lost episodes or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, exactly.
Lost tapes. Yeah.
Oh, you guys subscribe to our OnlyFans to hear the rest.
Not the only thing. You know what? On that note,
Have a good weekend.
thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.